But awesome. So who here has never played 7th before and doesn't have a character? Everybody has a character?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay. And let's see. I have Philip's character, who is Noah the Eisen. Philip, tell us 3 things about Noah the Eisen.
Noah is probably one of the largest men that you've ever seen in your entire life. He can go from having an incredibly gregarious, incredibly big smile to an incredibly big frown at the same time. And he loves children. Oh, sorry, I thought that was the first one. Was it?
Oh, okay. No, he's really big. He has a big smile and a big frown, and he loves children.
Yep.
Great. David, tell us about Ronaldo.
Let's see.
3 things.
3 things. He was his father's favorite, even over his older sister. He was trained as a swordsman, but never allowed to fight because he couldn't chance his ever getting hurt. And Ronaldo's decided to follow after his sister's footsteps and adventure.
Awesome. Okay. Matt, you're next.
Hi, Puyol was a Castilian soldier who saw a lot of battle. He is tired of the violence and is seeking peace by becoming a Mirabilis priest. And he would love to be a healer.
Awesome. Okay, let's see who's next on my list. Sam, you're next.
Yeah, so Ernst is a no longer actively preaching objectionist priest. He has a burning desire for vengeance on monsters and horrors, and I guess the third thing because he lost his congregation to some unknown horror.
Oh, that's really cool. I dig that. All right. And finally, that leaves you, Paul.
I told he was orphaned by the War of the Cross, and he's spent the last couple decades after he was kind of brought in under nobility kind of tutelage through the Shawl. He's been working as a diplomat and been seeking peace. However, that's left him little time for his personal life, so he's been kind of had some wanderlust the past couple of years. He's been traveling further and farther abroad.
That's awesome. Where's We Told from?
Sarmatia.
All right.
I don't think I've had a chance to intro.
Yeah,
No,
Savino.
Yeah. Gar, it's Savino. Yeah, go.
Yeah. So, so Savino is known for his deadly blade. Some say his smile is deadlier, and most importantly, he was last seen leaping from a lady's apartment into a gondola. It goes without saying that the lady is somebody else's wife.
Dun dun dun. I can't do it. Sorry. I know fewer chords on this than I do on the guitar. All right. Excellent. Savino, where are you from?
Vodace? So Vodace? Yes, yeah.
Vodace. All right. So everybody has, well, I know that there's at least one person who's never played before. Is that right?
Yeah.
So Sam has never played before.
Yeah,
Anybody?
I've never played.
I have only played once.
Okay. That's cool. So
3 times.
I read it and ran an adventure, but that's way different than playing. So
it is way different than playing. I took away all the dice from the GM because they have everything else to do. Why give them dice on top of it? So awesome. Well, welcome, guys. Thank you for, it's 4:08, so great. We're going to have a lot of time to get all your characters in a lot of trouble. So that you know, this is the last chapter in my Novus Ordo Mundi series of adventures that I've been releasing as PDFs on the website. And this is the big climactic adventure. And so you're going to be involved with the big evil villainous secret society. Does everybody know the language I'm talking when I talk about Novus Ordo Mundi? Anybody not know what I'm talking about? It's okay.
I mean,
You'll learn.
I know the Earth Latin. I've got no idea what it means in Thea.
Okay, good. All right, so let's get started. Has everybody got their? Okay, so some of you, Matt and Sam, if you could put your character name up on your window too. Do you guys know how to do that?
Yeah. Just a second.
Normally, I would hand out little index cards and have you write your character name and then put it in front of you. So does everybody have dice? Awesome. So we're going to be, we are all playing heroes, so I'm going to assume that everybody is just going to roll dice and, and tell me what they get. I don't care. I don't need to see your dice. Just for those of you who have never played before, just a couple of really quick notes. This system does not determine whether or not your character succeeds. Generally, your character will succeed because they will roll at least one raise. They'll roll a 10, right? And if you get to roll one, if you roll 110, that means you get to tell me what happens next, right? So that means that you become the GM and you tell me what happens next. It means you get to say one thing, and every additional raise gets you to say another thing, which means that random failure is no longer a storytelling option, which is good. Because I've been playing a lot of Blood Bowl recently, and let me tell you about random failure. It sucks. So in the meantime, however, if you want, and there is a rule in the rule book that a lot of people miss, and when I do, a revised edition, I'll make it much more prominent. There's a rule called the I fail rule. You can choose to fail your roll before you roll. Before you pick up the dice, you can say, my character fails. And if you do that, I will give you get a hero point. Okay. By the way, everybody should have, let's say everybody should have 3 hero points.
Let me just get my dice.
Sure.
And real quick, so how do we? I forget. So how do we use hero points?
So the way you use hero points is you can use a hero point before you roll or after you roll. Either way, doesn't matter. To give yourself 1 bonus die.
Gotcha. Okay.
However, you can spend a hero point and explain how your character is helping another character, and that gives them a 3 bonus dice.
Nice. That's right. Yep.
And this does not count as your action. Right? If you can narratively be in the right position to help somebody, that's the only qualifier. So you can be shooting, I shoot my gun, I need to help you shoot, break that lock. I shoot the lock, I give you 3 bonus dice. That totally works for me. Also, because 7C is a swashbuckling adventure game, that means that I expect you all to be, swashing your bucklers and jumping. You do not buckle a swash. You swash your buckle, but your buckler. And I expect you to be jumping on tables, swinging on chandeliers, flying through stained glass windows, and doing all of the kind of things that Errol Flynn would do, or in the modern parlance that Johnny Depp would do in a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. The good one. not the rest of them. But yeah, if also like Philip said, this game is far less about what can my character do and much more about what will your character do. You have because of the character that you made, you pretty much have the capability of succeeding at just about anything. It's how much do you succeed is the question. I, on the other hand, have danger points. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 danger points that I can spend during the game to make things harder on you. And also, your characters also have motivations like your Arcana. And each of your backgrounds has a quirk. And those quirks and your Arcana are really important. They will give you hero points, so pay attention to them. I will not be calling them out, so you are responsible for your quirks and your Arcana. Okay? Mainly because I can't see them. So, oh look, someone is chatting at me. Okay. Excellent. We're recording. So nobody say any bad words. Okay, we all set? Awesome. So, last evening, the reason I asked you what you all were doing is because, for example, Savino was leaping from a lady's apartment into a gondola. Noah dropped off his children at an orphanage, things like that. I want you to think about the last thing that you did last night, because this morning you are in a small 10 by 10 cell with a tiny window, tiny, like maybe this big, with iron bars in it. And the door to this tiny cell is iron, thick iron. It's cold, it's wet. There is a damp blanket on top of some straw for a bed. There's not even a bed frame. And each of you wake up in this place.
Same cell or different ones?
Different cells. So you're all by yourselves. What do you do?
Not again.
Excuse me, I seem to be locked in the stable.
Shut up!
I think it's a holding cell.
You shut up too, says an Avalonian voice on the other side of the doors.
Come make me. Didn't think so. Yeah, I don't think this is a stable.
Well, where else would you keep straw?
You lived a privileged life. I can tell. What'd you do?
I told you to shut up!
I don't care.
I left the tavern after an unfortunate bar fight broke out. Everybody seemed interested in my money, but I don't know why people would be interested in money. And then I woke up here.
By the way, if you had any weapons on you, they're gone. If you had any money on you, it's gone. If you had any interesting items upon you, they're gone. You have bare feet, you have a chemise, you have trousers, trews, or whatever you want to call them, and that's about it.
I look through the bars to see what I can see.
So you look through the bars of the window. Okay, so you look through the bars of the window. It's tiny. You can hear and smell the sea, and you can hear something washing, water washing up on rocks. As far as the door does have like a little barred window, but it's covered. It also has the little bar at the bottom where they can slide it open and slide your food in and then shut it.
I notice my medallion is gone and get very upset and call out, "By what authority are you holding me here?"
I told you to shut up!
No, you didn't. You told me to shut up. He just talk. He's just, there's a lot of threatening going on, but not a whole lot of walking down the hall.
One by one, you hear somebody walking down towards your cell. Ronaldo, you're first. The little food thing opens up and a little tray of food gets pushed through. It's crusty bread and porridge, and that's about it. And a little cup of water, little tin cup of water. Then Pollo, you get one. And then Wittold, you get one.
See here, my good man. I believe there's been a misunderstanding.
Shut up! Savino,
Obviously,
you get one.
this is servant's food.
And then Ernst, you get one. And then Noah, your door opens and there's a little and it closes and you get nothing.
I was only a little angry before. Now I'm mad. And I know what you look like. That was a mistake.
No,
All right,
no
everybody.
mistakes here.
Is it any good?
It's terrible. It's terrible. It's like the dregs of a porridge pot. And the bread is at least a day old.
How sturdy is the door?
It's very sturdy. It's built for men like you.
No, it's not. Built for men like them.
So a little time goes by. Go ahead. You guys can chatter with each other or whatever you like. And when you're done, we'll do the cut to the next scene.
Oh, okay. Well, I was going to say after a decent, decent interval, I'm just going to start, start moaning and groaning, sort of like somebody suffering from food poisoning or so, or something. Oh, 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 oh.
Little guard. I think one of these guys is sick.
You can eat his sick.
Oh. Guard. Oh.
So the little window opens, and you see a big guy with a big red beard.
Okay. Okay.
He's eating an apple.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to do my my best impersonation of somebody writhing on the floor in in the throes of food poisoning.
That's impressive. Eats his apple. Don't die. Womp.
I was going to ask if I could try to tempt him.
Not here.
Okay.
So
I'm keeping up the performance. Take the moaning as read. I'm dedicated to my role.
You are. So an undetermined amount of time goes by. You're not exactly sure how long. But and there's a screen wipe as you hear heels walking on the cobblestones, and one by one, the big guy with the red beard, he opens the windows, or the little windows on each of the doors, and some of you go and look, some of you don't, or maybe all of you go and look, and there is a of course she's beautiful. There is a beautiful Montaigne, she looks Montaigne woman, dressed all in black. And she's not wearing a dress, she's wearing trousers, she's wearing pantaloons, trousers, all those kinds of things, with big boots. And she says, bonjour, welcome to Chateau Nulle Part. For those of you who are wondering why you are here, I have a list. Let us see what we can see. Oh, which of you is Noah the Eisen?
It's me.
Oh. Oh, very good. You are responsible for saving the lives of 3 orphans who were scheduled to be, shall we say, perished?
That is incorrect. There were 4 of them.
Well, I have written down 3.
You don't
So
really
we will put
consider
another
orphans
one
people.
on your time here. In the meantime, I am instructed to tell you that if you try to escape, my assassins will make sure that all of your children are dead by the time that you reach the mainland. Do we have an understanding?
I don't know. What's your name?
Next. Let's see who is next. Ah, Ronaldo! Who is Ronaldo?
That's me.
Oh, very well. Ronaldo. You were involved in a sword fight with a person of importance who was to deliver a message. The message was never delivered, and that means that certain investments did not pay off as they were supposed to. Because of this, you have been brought here to the chateau. And if you try to escape, we will make sure that something grievous happens to your sister and your father. Do you understand?
I do.
Very good. Who is next? Oh, who is Puyo?
I'm Puyo.
Puyo. Oh, yes. The soldier who has no longer any stomach for it, huh?
I've seen enough.
Oh, I assure you, you have not. Puyo, you were supposed to lead a unit of soldiers against on the battlefield, and you left. The soldiers you were supposed to leave were defeated, and this caused a significant loss of income to the purses of many of my clients. Therefore, you have been sent here and will remain here for as long as I see fit. Should I mention what will happen to your father if you try to escape?
I think I get the picture.
Very good. You seem like a smart young man. Who is next? Oh, who is Ernst?
Yeah, here I stand.
Ernst. Oh, yes. Ernst, you should know that your congregation that you believe was killed by monsters was not killed by monsters. It was killed by our assassins. It was made to look as if it was monsters. However, their target was you. Because you managed to successfully avoid the assassins, you have been sent here. Of course, you know the penalty if you try to escape. Oui?
The little tin cup crushes a little in my hand.
Very good. I'm sure you will enjoy your stay. Savino, there is only two of you left. Which one of you is Savino?
In here, dear lady.
Very
We
good.
haven't had the pleasure.
You will never have the pleasure. Signore Savino, you caused quite a ruckus when you caused an certain infidelity. I'm sure you know what I speak of, yes?
You'll have to be more specific, dear lady.
Well, I am not going to be more specific because I am a lady. However, the last woman with whom you caused a certain infidelity shall come to a most gruesome end if you try to escape. Do we understand each other?
We do, madam, but what makes
Very
you think
good.
that a man of...
Who often moves to the last one.
Yeah.
And that leaves for last our friend Witold. Witold, oh, you are my favorite. You saw fit to do work with the shawl. This does not benefit us or our plans. And for that, you have been consigned to this place, the Chateau Nupar. And you will stay here, because if you do not, we will murder your shawl compatriots one by one. Do you understand?
I do.
Oh, very good. Oh, by the way, I am the, shall we say, what is the proper word? I am thinking of the proper word. I am the custodian of Chateau Nupar. My name is Aurelia Vampa. If you have any questions, you can speak to my headman here, Nathaniel, or I'm sorry, to Monsieur Gage, and she points at the guy with the big red beard, and he just stands there. He hasn't moved at all since all this began. And when it is time for you to all engage with La Machina, we will flip a coin to see which of you is first. In the meantime, keep up your strength. You are going to need it. Close their doors. Yeah, right. And he goes, ba-dum, 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 and he closes all of the windows on your doors. So, night falls. Would anyone like to try to do anything?
I want to see how strong the bars are on the outside window, the little window.
They're very strong. Would you like to make a brawn check?
Yes, I would.
Okay. To break one of these, you're going to need to make a brawn. You're going to need 5 raises.
All right. I would like to use brawn, my large advantage, and athletics.
Okay, go for it. Tell me how many raises you get. Does everybody know how to make raises? Does anybody not know how to make raises? It's cool if you don't.
2.
I think I do. So you just add up to 10, like, roll the d10s, and then every 10 you get, you make a raise.
Yep. And when you make it, when you hit 10, you stop counting, and that counts as a raise.
Gotcha.
I
So
got
if you have
4.
like a 7 and a 9, that's 1 raise.
Gotcha.
You got 4? So you pull and 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 you pull, and these things are tough.
If they would have gave me food earlier, I would have opened the freaking thing.
Maybe. Anybody else want to try anything?
I'm going to be kind of just running my fingers along the brickwork here and see maybe if anybody loosened any of these bricks at all in the past. Anybody before that stayed in this cell before me. Just kind of looking around, seeing what's in here.
Go ahead and make a wits check for me.
Wits, okay.
Mm-hmm. Wits is finding things, because Sherlock Holmes has wits.
Well, I got a 10, so that'll do it. I got 1.
Oh, okay. You do find that one of the stones is a little bit looser than the other ones.
Okay, well, that's going to be my favorite stone. I'll slowly be wiggling away at that.
Very good. Anybody else want to try something out?
I'd actually like to activate my virtue.
What's your virtue?
Intuitive the Witch.
Mm-hmm.
And the yes or no question is, did the custodian, does she actually have people in position to kill the people she threatened?
Yes. She is not bluffing.
I just wanted to make sure.
If in the adventure description, I specifically tell the GM to lay these seeds out and give NPCs names, make players fall in love with them, so when you mention them to them, it won't be, this guy.
I was 90% sure that was the case, but I figured it was worth it for the 100%.
So when you guys escape, there's a timer.
Yes.
Anybody else want to do anything? Your choices are pretty limited, I realize, so.
Can we open the little window to look out into the main area?
You cannot.
I'm going to pray and just conserve my strength. So I feel like my opportunities may come in the future, so I'm going to pray and conserve energy.
Okay. Gart, did you want to say something?
Yeah. I want to pull myself up to the window facing out and try if I can figure out where the heck we are.
It's good. Make a wits check. Do you have scholar?
I do.
Okay, so make a wits plus scholar roll.
Okay.
And for every 10 that you can make with your dice, that counts as 1 raise.
Okay. So
you
I've
really
got
only need 1 raise to be able to tell where you are, because it's night, so you can look up and you can do celestial navigation. And every raise that you get, I will be more specific about where you are.
Okay. Sounds good. So wits of 3 and scholarship of 1.
Okay.
Yep. And that is 2 raises.
2 raises. You are in the Atabaean Sea, which is all the way the hell across the world. It's essentially, if you think of Europe, it's near the Caribbean.
Oh, okay.
And you are very close to Aragosta, which is the pirate nation island. I think Gar froze on us. Did he freeze on us? Or did I freeze on everybody else? Oh, there you are. Okay. Okay, so that's where you're at. All right. So, and the way that I handle in-character and out-of-character knowledge is I don't care. So So
Okay.
if one of you learns something that the rest of you, could reasonably figure out too, that's fine. So the night passes and morning shows up. All of you are sore because you've been lying on a wet blanket with hay on stones, and it's just, it's really bad. And I want everyone to roll a d10, and we're going to find out who rolls lowest.
I got it.
A 9.
10.
Anybody roll lower than a 2? Ernst, you win!
Right.
So, you hear your door unlocking, and when it open, and the little window comes open, and the big guy with the beard there, whose name, by the way, is Henry Gage, Mr. Gage, and Mr. Gage says, "I have 12 men out here with muskets. Don't do anything stupid."
I just fix him with an iron stare.
So they open the door. Sam, do you know how brute squads work?
No, I read it, but I don't know how it works. So
Okay, so this is a swashbuckling game. So any character who is unnamed is essentially just a brute, right? And when you fight brutes, you can take out a brute for every raise that you roll. And that's it, right? However, Henry Gage is not a brute. Henry Gage is a villain, and he gets to roll dice. So just so you know. I will leave that up to you as to what you want to do with it.
okay.
So the door opens, and there are 12 guys with muskets, and Henry Gage, who has a big damn hammer. Like a big honkin', like as big as he is, hammer. He, by the way, Noah, he also has the large advantage. Says,
Okay, so I position myself to be about 6 inches in front of his face and say, "What's your business with me?"
"You're going to meet the machine. That way." And he points down the hall.
Okay, I kind of take a minute to think through my chances, and I nod once and start, and I don't know if they lead me out or tell me to follow them or what, but I start. I'll comply with this.
So, excellent. So they escort you down the hall, and so you get your first look at what all this looks like. It is a hallway. It's like a very large room, like a hallway with all of these doors. And you heard 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other voices, but there are a total of 10 doors here. So as
am I
you walk
able
down,
to?
go ahead.
Are any of the little windows open, or are they all
They're all
shut?
closed.
Okay.
So as you walk down, you get to a stairway that goes down. And it's a spiral stairway. And so they're escorting you. So you're going to have to engage with them if you do anything physical, right? But you go down the stairway, and it's all moist and wet, and the stones have moisture on them, and the stone steps are very small and very slick. And by the way, that is something I'm gonna put in for you guys to know, is that the stones everything here is wet, and that means everything is, because it's the Caribbean, so everything is slick. If anyone wants to use one of their raises to activate that as something to activate it, that means that everyone can use it in the game. Okay, so when you guys make an action roll, you can use one of your raises to say, "I'm activating the slick stones," and that means everybody can use it as in the narrative. Okay, as a free raise, it counts as a free raise for everybody else.
As we go down the hall, am I able to glance behind to see if see what's the other way down the hall, or are we at like at
Sure.
the dead end of this cell block?
So on one end is that spiral staircase that goes down, and then the other is a big wooden door.
Okay.
It's not a big iron door, it's a big wooden door. And then there's also like a table and a chair, and you can see what appears to be Henry Gage's breakfast plate is on the table, and makes your stomach rumble. So you head down the stairs, and then you head down another corridor, and now you can just tell, because you can hear it, that you're underwater. And you go down a corridor, you hit another door, and you open that, and that door is opened, and inside, at an angle, is a wooden or a metal platform, or a metal table, like an old Dr. Frankenstein table.
Right.
And there are metal places for your wrists and ankles, and there are other metal devices. And Gage says, "Get on the table."
Okay, so let's see. So I'm going to we got 12 guys with muskets. Is that the story? All right. I'm gonna get on the table and do so with total sang-froid, like completely calmly.
Okay, that's very cool. You get on the table. The guards and everything strap you in, and then they start putting the things on they tear your shirt open, and they put the things on and all that, and they put the thing over your head and the leather strap around your chin and all that. And then Madame Vampa comes in, and she's wearing big long black gloves, and she says, "Welcome, monsieur, to the machine." And she walks over to a big wall of alchemical weird the jars with all the rubber, not rubber hoses, because rubber hasn't been invented yet, but all the kind of hoses and everything like that and all that. And she adjusts a couple of the screws for the jars and everything, and she says, "I am certain you are thinking, what is this thing that they have tied me to?"
That is not what I'm thinking about. But if you'd like to tell me, please go ahead.
Oh, I am going to tell you. It is a delight of mine to tell you. She walks over to the table, and she saunters over to the table with dark, sinister delight. And there is a lever next to the table. And she says, "Are you familiar with metaphysics?"
I have made some study in that direction, yes.
Oh, that is delightful. I am so happy. So I can speak to you of the true purpose of the machine. You know that within, it is philosophized that certain individuals have what the Fate Witches of Vodache call an arcana. Do you know of these?
Yes, I've
It
heard
is
the
said-
stories.
It is said among ancient philosophers that this arcana is the world's way of protecting itself from evil. Have you heard this?
So they say.
The machine is designed to sap some of that arcana. Let me show you. So up above, in your cells, you're just kind of hanging out and wondering where Ernst went. And Ernst, make a resolve check for me, please.
All right, that's my strong point. Can I? No, I guess
You can
that
add
doesn't
whatever
work.
skill you're trying to. With what we're doing is you're trying to deal with pain.
Okay, so I've got indomitable will, which by the book doesn't seem like it's quite to the point. But
You know what? You can totally use that.
okay, so I'll roll 5, and so 3 raises.
3 raises. Very good. So she throws the lever. And all of you hear the most terrifying wail that you have ever heard in your lives. You've heard about the Banshee in Innismore. You've heard about wailing women in Eisen who haunt Eisen castles. You've heard about all of these different things. You hear this terrifying, terrifying scream. And Ernst, you lose a hero point.
Hmm.
And then she puts the lever back. And she says, and she leans over the table so that she is face to face with you, with her beautiful, dark beauty, evil. She's evil. And she says, how does that feel?
So I give myself just a moment to recover from the excruciating torment, and then I say, it feels like a terrible waste for someone of your talents to be engaging in such villainy.
Oh, aren't you so sweet? And she tucks your cheek. Now, I could take more, but I have found that taking too much kills the victim. And if I keep you alive longer, I can take more of your arcana. So, we will keep you alive for now. Please, she turns to the guard. She says, please make sure that his hands are bound. This is nothing personal. I have just found that once someone discovers the true nature of the machine, that their attempts to escape go up dramatically. So while your hands are, they put manacles on your hands and on your feet, and then they point muskets at you, and they take the binds off. They take all the things off, and she walks over, and you notice she walks over to the side of the table that you're on, and she takes a small jar, and there's a liquid in it, and liquid is like it glows like phosphorescent, like fish, like the fish who glow in dark water. That's what it looks like. And she goes to a cupboard, and she opens the cupboard, and you see dozens of them. And she puts that in there, and then she closes the cupboard. And the guards escort you back up to the cell. Would you like to do something on the way back to the cell?
With me now are just the guards and Mr. Gage. She's
down below making adjustments and things.
okay.
I should also let you know that firearms are really dangerous in this game. Really dangerous. You see your dramatic wounds down at the bottom of your character sheet?
Right.
Every time you get shot, you take a dramatic wound. And there's 12 of them. Doesn't mean you can't win.
True.
Doesn't mean you can't win. Just letting you know.
Is that the death spiral?
Dun dun dun. It didn't work. Hold on. There we go.
Nice. Phew, okay, so well, I suppose if they want to kill me, they could kill me anytime. So
but then we would not have the lovely arcana to take from you.
That's correct. So as as we approach the cell, I'm going to make a sort of desperate lunge for either the chair, or if there happens to be some sort of knife or even a fork on Gage's plate, on Mr. Gage's plate. I'm going to make a kind of a desperate salmon-like lunge for it with my hands and feet bound.
Okay.
To see if I can. What I want to try and do is get the drop on Gage himself.
So I'm going to spend a danger point.
All right.
And I'm going to I'm going to spend a danger point. I have 5 now. To essentially, you jump for the table and grab the plate, right? Because it's big. It's a heavy metal plate, right? It's lead.
Sure.
Because it reads on lead. And the 12 guards just beat you down. And then they drag you over to the and you guys all hear what's going on. And then they drag you over to your cell, and they throw you in the cell with the manacles and everything still on, and then they close the door.
Okay. I say
However, do you have anything like sleight of hand or anything like that?
oh, it's not really in my line.
Okay.
I've got let me just check and see.
I'll tell you what. If you spend a hero point, I'll let you sneak a utensil up your sleeve.
Yep, I'll do that.
Okay. That's my rule, by the way. You guys, that's my house rule, is whenever a player's like, oh, I don't have the stuff to do the thing, I'm like, spend a hero point. They're like, yes, I'll spend a hero point and I do the thing. Because you're a hero. You get to do that. So
after they after they throw me in, I say very calmly, Mr. Gage.
Yeah.
Since you and your employer were kind enough to offer me your threats or suggestions as to what the future might hold, I feel it only just to inform you that I will be leaving here, and if you are telling the truth that my flock is still alive, they will all outlive you. Good day.
We'll see. Heh. All right. So, while the guards and Mr. Gage were gone, does anybody want to try to do anything in their cell?
Did they leave anybody to watch us over?
No. They're villains. They don't really think that way.
They've underestimated us.
I sort of introduce myself. I say, I'm Noah. I guess I'm in for what they said. Everybody else was a fair cop.
This is Savino.
Nice, So basically, we got some skills.
It sounds like we do.
So
How badly did you dent the hinges last night?
they really built this place well. I've been in a lot of jails over the years. This is the first one that actually works. Most jails don't work. I think we got to be a little bit more creative. People usually underestimate me. They think I'm kind of an idiot, but I read. So maybe we got to think our way out of this one.
Has anybody found anything in their cells? I noticed one of the bricks is loose here. Perhaps somebody else noticed something?
Oh, at that, Ronaldo's like, oh, I should search in here, and starts looking around.
Can we get a feel for where we are cell-wise by talking?
Sure. I'm gonna put you. Well, I'll tell you what. Why don't you make a wits? Anybody who wants to make a wits check to find something in their cell that the guards put in? Here's the things you can find. Things the guards from previous prisoners that the guards have overlooked. Loose stones. Perhaps a flaw in the door. All those kinds of things. You can make wits checks to find all of those things.
Is it straight wits or wits and notice?
Wits and notice is great. You can absolutely do that. And the way that we're going to do this is that everybody who wants to can make a wits check. And whoever got the most raises will go first, and then we'll go around like that. Because that's how initiative works in this game, is whoever has the most raises.
And this is while I'm gone, right? So I'm not.
Yeah, this is while you're gone.
Okay.
2.
2.
1.
I have 3.
3. Puyol, you go first.
I think I find something left behind by a previous prisoner. Maybe it's some markings, and or somewhere where they were able to journal in secret what they were doing. Maybe under the hay, they came up with a way to track some stuff, and it's some of the coded message.
Okay.
That, I'm going to try to work on deciphering.
That's very cool. I dig that. So there's like a loose brick in the floor, and you pull it up, and there's a journal shoved down there, written in blood, because that's all they, with their finger and blood, is all they could do, right?
Like a real writer.
Like a real writer. So you have 2, let's say that you have 2 raises in that journal. Okay, because you rolled 3, right? Well, let me ask you, how many raises do you want to invest in that journal? Because the journal you can use to say things are true about the prison.
Oh, I see.
And you don't have to use them now.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think I would use all 3.
Okay. Well, use one to find the journal.
Oh, I see. 2. So I would use the 2 to say for things for the journal.
Okay, cool. So since there's a tie for raises to go next with 2, you guys, the players always decide who goes next. So it's up to you guys.
Okay. Let's see. Ronaldo will decide to actually touch the damp blanket in the straw that's been in here this whole time, because he's just stayed away from it, and go through it. And I think perhaps he'll find a hidden utensil.
Okay.
Within the straw from a previous prisoner.
Like an old dull spoon.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, who's next?
I guess I'll go next. Going through the straw of the mattress, it looks like somebody had some twine or some rope that they were kind of wrapping around a piece to use it kind of like a pillow. So it's not 50 feet of hemp rope, but there's a little bit of something there that we could use as a tool if need be.
Cool. I dig it. Write it down, by the way. Everybody write down what you found so you don't forget about it in the middle of the game. Witold, Paul, did you get any raises?
Let me give it a roll. I got 1.
Awesome.
So I'm probably gonna see if that loose brick finally comes out and see what I can find in there.
We'll deal with you in a moment. I got special plans. All right. Gar, what do you got?
I can't think of anything more creative than either a shiv or something that can be turned into a shiv.
Well, let's see. We've had a journal, and we've had a little bit of rope. You know, because the World of Fate does have matches. Matches maybe.
So that is a suggestion I will I will take.
Awesome. And then so Witold, you go down while the guards are gone and start working on that stone.
Mm-hmm.
And it turns out it's a lot looser than you thought.
Okay.
And as you are pulling it out, suddenly you feel a push from the other side.
Okay. I'm going to step out of the way and hope it doesn't come and crush my toes.
And through the hole pops this face of this old man with wild hair. Right? He's got the hair and he's got the beard, and he comes out and he goes, "You're not Gerald."
No, sir, I'm Vitold. Who are you?
"Oh. Where is Gerald? Oh, excuse me. Where are my manners?" And he's speaking with a Castilian accent, which I'm not going to try to do because it's kind of insulting to Hispanic people.
Okay.
He says, "I am Nathaniel Cortez Rodriguez de Verde Corazon."
Well met. They call me Vitold the Fair.
"Well, the fair?
Indeed.
Where is Gerald?"
I don't know. I've only seen a few of our compatriots here. Have they threatened you as they threatened us?
"Well, Gerald has been my friend for these many years." "What year is it?" "It's 1668, by the way."
Okay. Last I checked was 1668, good sir.
"Oh, have I been here this long?" "I've been here for 15 years.
With the same gruel and everything, day in and day out?
Yes. They like to keep me alive because my arcana is very powerful."
Arcana, I've read about this. This is with the tarot cards and such, right? The symbols.
Yes. It is very powerful.
Uh-huh. With empathy, how crazy is this guy?
He's crazy.
Exactly. He's pretty out of it.
Crazy. He's been here for 15 years.
Gotcha.
However, he is, I mean, he's crazy, but he's still sharp.
It's crazy like a fox.
He's crazy like a fox. That's right.
Okay. Well, we need to get out of here. We don't want to end up. Well, he still may be alive, but we can find out if we work together.
Gerald and I had the plan to escape.
Oh yeah? Do tell.
We had been braiding my hair.
I see. And what were you going to do with your braided hair, good sir?
Going to make a kite.
A kite. Okay.
And the guards are coming back.
Okay.
And he scoots back into the hole and he pulls the stone back. Yeah. So those of you taking notes, that is Nathaniel Cortez Rodriguez de Verde Corazon. Nate of the Green Heart.
I was going to say Green Heart. Okay. Mm-hmm.
So they bring your new your new immediate best friend back, Ernst, and they toss him in the cell, and then close it up.
I ask Ernst if he's hurt.
I wait to respond until are the guards still standing outside, or do we hear them leave?
You hear the guards leave, and then you hear Gage. Excuse me. You hear Gage go back to his table because you now have a sense of the geometry, or geography, I should say, and geometry of the place.
Sure. Well, I tell them as Mr. Gage, as our friend Mr. Gage can probably tell you, there's some sort of demonic device down there that rips out a part of your soul. I would be lying if I called it a pleasant experience.
And you all remember that horrible scream that you heard.
Do you have any physical wounds?
None that I can see, except those I acquired a few moments ago while trying to make a dive for Mr. Gage's breakfast.
So with my I study medicine. That's my area for my spark of genius, and so if there's any suggestions I can make to help either soothe his pain or that he could self-administer with not much, but if there's any things, a little acupressure or something that would at least ease his pain or suffering a bit, I will make a suggestion.
Yeah, it's also hard, when you can't see him and don't have access to medicine or anything.
I'll at least try to give him some empathy.
Oh, that's cool.
It's much appreciated, friend. Is there any lingering pain from the actual machine, or did it just carve out a little piece of my being and now I feel the same, or
you just feel lesser? It's like I'm
sorry.
Go ahead.
How sturdy was that machine? How big was it?
Oh, sorry. The machine a little taller, larger and longer than a man, like one of the torture racks that you might see in some of the castles of my homeland.
Or the
homeland.
Breakable.
Is it breakable?
It was made of solid iron, so it seemed to me.
Were there any wobbly bits? I'm thinking if it doesn't work, then, she doesn't need to keep everybody.
It seemed to me that the machine itself was sturdy, but there were wires and tubes that connected everything, and through which they worked, they drained out whatever it is they took from me. Maybe those could be broken or torn or damaged. I noticed another thing as I walked, however. There were 10 cells, and I think I've made the acquaintance of 5 of you. Are there any others here who wish to make themselves known?
So you hear the voice of someone shout, "I am here!" And Whittled, you recognize him as Nathaniel the Greenhearted. And he goes, "I am here! I have always been here! You all shut up!"
That's Nathaniel the Greenhearted. He's been here for 15 years.
15 years! Don't make me come down there and beat you.
Excuse us, Mr. Gage, we're talking.
Don't worry. We're playing I Spy. This is going to be a very short game.
So you don't want to shut up?
I don't know that at the moment I have much else to say.
So time goes by. Another day goes by. You see the rising and setting the setting of the sun, and it is now night. And during the night, you have noticed 2 nights in a row that Gage leaves, and there are you can hear guards doing a regular patrol up or into the room and then out of the room, and you think that you hear somebody standing outside that wooden door. You hear the wooden door open and close, but you don't hear anybody walking away. So, what would you like to do?
the hinging on the doors.
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe what we see? Is it completely sealed over on our side, or is it a dual-sided mechanism?
It's completely sealed on your side, so the hinge is on the other side of the door. So during the middle of the night, that stone comes out in your cell, Witold, and Nathaniel creeps out and he says, "Would you like to see the kite?"
Okay, sure. Why not?
So
Nathaniel?
he crawls back in his cell and he comes back, and he has indeed made a kite out of his hair, and it's big. It's a big Da Vinci style kite.
Okay.
And he says, "All we have to do is get to the top of the building."
That's a rather large device there, Nathaniel. How are you going to get it out of the cell?
It folds.
Oh.
I keep it under my shirt. See?
Oh.
Genius!
Indeed. Top of the building, you say. Do you know how many levels there are?
I know that there is at least one level above ours. It is where they sleep.
That's why they sleep. I'm going to start to kind of carve things out on the wall here, keeping notes of deciphering the craziness here. And let's see. Ernst, when they took you, did they go up or down?
We went down a spiral staircase. Our corridor ends at a thick wooden door, and then we go down a spiral staircase into their chamber of horrors.
Chamber. And this is where the iron machine is.
That's right.
Ah, the machine.
What to do? Do you have any more of this hair, perhaps loose, Nathaniel? Just a little bit, just a little.
Crawls back into his cell. You're snip,
Okay.
snip, snip, snip. And through the hole, he thrusts his hand, and there's like a handful of hair.
Handful of hair. Thinking about, all right. So looking at this, when they slide open the little feed door at the bottom, do I think I can maybe stuff that in there really quick, and it would just leave just enough of a gap that I could get it back open?
It'd be tricky, but you could probably certainly give it a try.
Okay. All right. We've got a plan forming here, Nathaniel.
We're going to fly. Gar, did you want to say something?
Yeah. Can you recap the guard situation at night and how it's different again?
Sure. There is a regular there's a regular patrol.
Right.
The guards seem to walk in, check all the doors, and then there's two of them. They check doors on either side, and then they walk out. And it's about once an hour.
Okay. After one of the patrols, I want to, gentlemen, I don't think anyone else wants to go downstairs. I don't hear Mr. Gage out there. I think tonight is our best chance. I think I can get out when the guards next come. Can you be ready?
How are you going to get up the door?
Very simple. The guards will open it for me.
Oh, I have heard this plan before. It does not go well.
Neither does Wit. What did you hear before, good sir?
Oh, I've heard all kinds of plans. Tricking the guards, drugging the guards, getting the guards drunk. I've heard them all.
What is your plan, friend Savino?
I have found some matches in my ticking. If I can set it alight and get the guards to investigate, hopefully I can get to keys and get us out of here. The next time my door will be open is going to be whenever they take me downstairs, and I'd rather not wait that long.
Very well. If you're settled on this course of action, I'll support you.
Starting a fire?
Is that at least a new plan?
Maybe.
Do
All right.
not don't worry, good Ronaldo. It's new because it is Savino's.
All right. So the guards come back.
Okay.
They're doing their hourly walk down the corridor.
Oh, okay. And I try to get that straw going. Good and smoky.
Okay. So there is
position myself, sort of in the classic prisoner escaping, hide beside the door, position. Guard, bang, 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 bang. Fire, bang, 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 bang.
So from the other camera angle, from outside, there's smoke pouring out underneath your door.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, let's do it this way. So you say fire. Has that been tried before? And Nathaniel says, maybe. And there's a screen wipe, and the guards are coming up the stairs towards the room. And one of them is talking to the other one, and one of them appears to be drunk. And the other one says, if that woman catches you drinking, she's going to put you in that machine until you die. And the drunk guard says, she's not going to put me in the machine. I don't have an arcana. It's all hokum bullshit anyway. And and then they come up and they see smoke pouring out from under Savino's door. And the drunk guard kind of blinks. Is that smoke? And the other guard says, that is smoke! And they rush over, grab their keys, because they're dumb guards, and they shove the key into the, unlock the door! If he dies, we're in trouble! And they open the door, and the smoke pours out. And they're coughing and everything. Would you like to take an action, Mr. Savino? You're muted.
I certainly would. And actually, the first thing I want to do is activate slippery floors.
Oh, okay. It's a free raise, and that means that you can use it to cause things to happen. So that you get 3 raises. Let's say you get 3. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
You can use your free raise to say, and one of the guards slips.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right. That's how free raises work.
Oh, okay. So basically, we as a party now have a pool of 3 free raises.
Well, everybody gets 1 free raise.
Okay.
So during this scene, because you spent a style point, when everybody makes their rate, when everybody rolls, one of the things they can do for free without spending any of their normal raises is say something happens because the floor is wet.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense to everybody? Awesome.
Okay.
So, what are you going to do? Actually, what is your? Let me do this. What is your intent? What is the trait and skill that you're going to be using?
Okay.
Let me give you a hint. You're a swordsman, right?
Right. And go on.
They are carrying swords.
Okay, so even if I am not
There you go.
Okay. So my goal is to acquire one of those
Well,
swords.
the way the game works is you tell me your intent.
Okay.
And intent is I'm going to use my finesse and swordsmanship.
Okay.
Right? So you don't tell me what your action is. You tell me what your intent is, and your intent is I'm going to use my finesse plus my swordsmanship, and then you make raises.
Okay.
And then, and here's how this works: every raise that falls under your intent, I'm going to draw his sword from his scabbard.
Okay.
Right? Costs 1 raise, and every action you take that falls outside of your intent, like for example, I put out the fire.
Right.
That costs 2 raises.
Okay.
So you can do anything you want. You can take any action, and you're automatically successful just by spending a raise.
Okay.
But it has to fall under your intent for 1 raise, and if it's outside your intent, then it's 2 raises.
Okay. So intent is the trait
and skill.
Trait and skill. Okay. All right. So I will be using panache and swordsmanship.
Okay.
Because however I do it, I'm going to do it with style.
I'll buy that. Oh, I said intent. I meant approach.
What
am I talking about?
Oh.
I'm working on something else that has intent. It's your approach. Your approach determines the scope of your actions. So go ahead, roll.
Okay. Okay. 1 raise, 2 raise.
And also remember, these are
3
brutes.
raises.
So taking them out is 1 raise.
Oh, okay. Oh man. So I've got 3 3 raises.
Okay. How do you want to use them?
So is
stealing someone's sword is pretty stylish.
Yeah.
So that's 1
as they're stumbling in, take the sword.
All right. What's your second raise?
Skewer that that very brute with his own sword.
And he falls down. Because this is a PG-13 game. So when you dispatch people, they fall down.
Right.
And you have 1 more raise. What do you want to use it? There's 1 more guy, and he's got a musket.
Okay. And I've got to use that third raise to dispatch him.
Okay. Now, I'm going to spend a danger point. I have 4 danger points left. The fire is now out of control. All right. So, what do you want to do now?
I want to grab the keys and...
The keys have fallen into the fire.
Of course they have.
Are you going to reach into the fire with your bare hands? Your swordsman hands?
Oh.
The answer is yes.
The answer is yes if that's where the keys are.
So the fire is going to cause you wounds, but you're going to get you're going to get the keys.
Okay.
So you take 2 wounds from the fire.
Okay. Ow, 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 ow.
Yes. Ow, 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 ow. And now you have keys.
Okay, and up, up
Who are you
and down
letting
the
out
hall.
first?
Sorry, what?
Who are you letting out first?
Let me out.
No, Noah.
Let me out.
I'm letting Noah out first.
Thank you.
So cut to, opening the lock, and the door opens, and this huge, he has to duck to get under the door, right? He fills up the entire door. He has to go sideways and duck through the door.
I look around and I go, how did they even get me in here?
I thought there was only one man in that room.
Yes. I go,
and
I point down at your burns and I go, why didn't you just use your sword?
And ruin a good sword? Yeah,
good
good.
answer. So one by one, you let the other people out. So everybody is out of the cell, including Nathaniel. Now, here's an important thing to know about Nathaniel. Okay, remember that I have danger points?
Mm-hmm.
Villains can spend danger points. So every NPC, let me start over. When you guys go all the way down your death spiral and you hit the 4th dramatic wound, you become helpless. And what that means is you have to spend a hero point just to take an action. Okay? All NPCs are considered helpless for the purposes of this game. Okay? Villains, the only way to die in this game is if you are helpless, 1, a villain is there, 2, villain spends a danger point and says, I kill you. Okay? That means your character dies. But it takes place at the end of the round. It's the last action in the round, so other heroes can stop it from happening. However, all NPCs are considered helpless. So a villain can spend a danger point and say, I killed Nathaniel.
One less of us that he could kill.
Damn, Eisen. So, the fire is now
Find more helpless people.
So the fire is now out of control, and and all of you are out, but the room is filled with smoke. And the wooden door opens, and Henry Gage is there.
I look at him, and I've got my rope in my hand, 6 inches of rope. And I drop it on the ground, and I'm going to just go after him with my fists.
Okay.
So I get a hero point for pugilist?
Oh, excellent. Yes, because you dropped a weapon to fight with your fists.
Yes.
Well done. Hey, have you guys seen the picture going around of Arnold Schwarzenegger as Conan standing next to Andre the Giant and Wilt Chamberlain?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's exactly how big Ernst and Henry Gage are.
Heavyweights.
All right, so we're gonna fight. Are you ready for the fight?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, villains roll dice, but I don't have to. Well, so villains have ranks. So there's like a 5-point villain, a 10-point villain, a 15-point villain, and that's how many dice they roll. Okay, unless somebody has a particular arcana, you don't know what rank villain Henry is. And he doesn't have to roll all of his dice. If he's a 15-point villain, he can say, I roll 10 dice. Okay? Henry is going to roll 10 dice. You ready?
Yep. Anybody going to help me?
Oh, I'm there with my spork or whatever utensil I managed to grab.
No, but I mean, if you use a hero point, I get 3 dice.
Yes, if someone spends a hero point, he gets 3 bonus dice.
Oh,
Nobody.
spent.
Okay.
Well done, my hero.
Perfect.
How many dice you rolling over there, Noah?
I look at him and I go, I am a weapon. That's my catchphrase. That's 1 bonus
Ooh.
die for my catchphrase.
There you go.
1 bonus die for boxer.
Yep.
Then I'm rolling 7 for brawn and brawl, and then 3 more for the bonus dice. So I'm rolling 12 dice.
You're rolling 12 dice. All right. 1, 2. I have 5 raises. I rolled really, really good.
I rolled really good. 2, 3, 4. I rolled 6 raises.
Okay, you go first then.
Is he armed?
He saw you drop your weapon, so he's just coming after you.
Okay. What
Okay,
I
so
wanted-
you dropped your weapon, he dropped his hammer, and he's just coming at you.
Yep. First thing I want to do is I want to put my shoulder down and I want to drive him back in the hallway. So hopefully somebody else can pick up the hammer.
Okay, so you spend 1 raise because that's what all you need to do and you put your shoulder down, you lift him up off of his feet and drive him.
I give him a bull charge.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
And shove him back through that, not through the wooden door, but through the doorway, right?
Yep.
And you can see through and once you do, both of you land, like, because you're charging him. So is it fair to say that both of you land on the ground?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So both of you land on the ground, and you get a brief glimpse at the other side. This is like a circular platform, and you've been in lighthouses before, or towers, and it looks like a lighthouse or a tower. So there's a stairway that just keeps on going down, but you're on like a little platform.
Follow me, everybody. We ain't gonna get another chance.
So
Got my spoon.
I got my spoon.
I'm grabbing some wet blankets
Mhm.
in case we've got to put anybody out if the fire gets worse.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Good call. So at this point, we are in the middle of an action scene.
Mhm.
So I'm going to have everybody tell me what their approach is, which is the trait and the skill that they want to use for this scene. And we're going to roll dice. And you still have 5 raises left, Noah. So you still have your 5 raises left. And Henry Gage still has his 5 raises. So everybody tell me their approach one by one. We'll start with Witold. What is your approach for this scene?
Oh, there we go. I had to unmute myself. Let's say there's social combat in this, right?
Yes, there is.
So I suppose I will use panache and intimidate to throw some withering insults at him while he's getting pounded by the Eisen.
You can totally do that.
Awesome.
All right, Gar Francis, Mr. Savino, what are you going to do? What's your approach?
Oh. Can I pass to a player who's more quick-witted than I at the moment?
Yes, you can. That's totally okay. Ernst, Mr. Harris, what's your approach?
Yeah, so I will now in a scene like this is it possible to gang up on the villain, or is it that we okay, great. So I'll use finesse and weaponry to use my little let's call it a knife that I was able to grab from the
works.
from the breakfast table, to try to catch Gage when he's off guard from the fight with Noah.
Okay. Next is Ronaldo. What are you going to do? What's your approach?
Well, I think I'm going to do finesse and weaponry to be prepared with my spoon. Although,
There's a hammer
if
on the
both those
floor.
guards he knocked out have swords, I could grab that sword.
There is a sword. There's also a hammer.
And I will take a sword.
Okay. And lastly, we have Puyol.
I'm going to use wits and notice. So as I'm collecting up things that could be useful, looking out for shouting out any danger, and be ready to help someone who is injured.
Awesome. Well done. Okay.
So is it possible? I forgot about the hammer. Is it possible to revise and say that instead I'll grab the hammer and use brawn plus weaponry to try to clock Mr. Gage with the hammer?
Absolutely.
All right.
And all right, Savino.
Yeah, finesse and weaponry to gang up on the bad guy.
It's a good choice. Villains are tough. All right, everyone roll dice, count your raises. I'm going to run really quick to the restroom. I'll be right back. Give me 1 second.
Sounds like a good idea.
Oh yeah, do not hold back. Villains are deadly.
That was not a good roll.
If you have a skill of 3 that you're using it, you can re-roll a single die.
Oh, really?
Oh, you were right. I forgot.
Yep.
Thank you for that tip.
No problem. It helps.
How did that catchphrase work? Does everybody have a catchphrase, or is that a part of your background?
I took the advantage catchphrase, so whenever I use a catchphrase,
Nice.
And then immediately do a risk that it's related to, then I can't just like yell that.
Yeah.
Social comment. Could, it just wouldn't do much.
All right. I am back. Thank you for your patience. All right. Who rolled the most raises?
Not sure.
Rolled more than 5. Actually, we're waiting for Savino to come back. But did anybody get more than 5? Anybody get 4?
I got 5. I didn't get more than 5.
Okay, 5 is good. Did anybody get 3?
Got 3.
2. 2. Okay.
Philip pointed out that we could, if you had a 3 in a skill, we could re-roll the single die. So I re-rolled one of my 1s and rolled another 1.
Oh, that always sucks. All right. Savino, how many raises did you get?
4.
Okay. So 5 goes first. So the villain is going to go first. Actually, heroes go first. So, actually, I should point that way for me. So Noah the Eisen, what is your next action?
I want to roll over and put my hand on him and keep him on the ground.
Okay.
That's my intention. I intend to use to restrain him as much as possible.
You're using brawn, right?
Yeah.
All right. So that costs 1 raise.
Yep.
And you get your intent. You succeed. Whenever you spend a raise, you just succeed because you get to say what happens next, right? So you're keeping him on the ground. Now it's his turn.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to spend one of his raises. He has 4 left. And he is going to punch you in the nose to break your hold on him.
Mm-hmm.
So he punches you in the nose, and you feel the splatter of blood on your nose, and he gets back up. So he has 4 raises left. You have 4 raises left. Somebody else has 4 raises too. Yes. All right. So it's a tie between the players. So you two decide who goes next.
Witold, why don't you go next? I've had some screen time.
So he just broke free of Noah, and I'm not getting up in his face because he's very big and scary. But from behind the ranks, I'll be like, you've underestimated us for the last time, my fire-bearded friend.
So would you like to? So the way that this works is that you can
Yes.
use your raises, so that your intimidation raises. So it costs him raises to act. Essentially, what you do is you spend raises to eat his raises.
Oh, okay.
So how many raises would you like to spend? If you spend all 4, he loses all 4 of his.
Oh, I'll do that and just nullify him then. Yeah.
Yep. All right. So you jump up and you say, "You've underestimated us for the last time, my large Avalon friend, red bearded friend." And he like turns to look at you and turns his back on Noah, which is always a mistake. All right. 4 raises. We still have 4 raises. So I think Savino and Noah both have 4 raises, right?
Savino, go.
Gar, you're muted again.
Yep. Sorry.
Also, another thing you guys should know, the person who has the most raises can choose who goes next. So you can choose like one of the other players who has 2 or 3 raises to go next. You can choose yourself.
Oh.
Nothing wrong with that.
Honestly, the pugilism was so entertaining. I'm willing to pass to Noah.
At this point, I look at him, spit out a mouthful of blood, and just punch the man in the back of the head. Just break every rule of every civilized boxing match ever, and just flat on punch the back of his head with my fist.
So you punch him in the back of the head, and his head snaps forward and then back, and he starts tumbling down the stairs. So
we need to end this man.
So 3 raises. Who has 3 raises? Raise your hand.
I have 3.
Okay. Which of you 2 goes next? Ernst, do you want to go next?
Sure. So he's falling down the stairs.
Uh-huh. What was your approach again?
My approach was brawn and weapon. I was using his hammer to using the hammer to try to attack him.
Okay, I'm going to spend a danger point. I have 3 left, and the guards show up from the other corridor. There are now 10 guards. Each one is a raise, and they all have muskets.
Okay. Well, all right. So Gage is safely tumbling, not safely, but he's tumbling down the stairs for the moment, right?
Yeah.
All right. So as the guards arrive, I turn and leap and swing the hammer in a huge arc to try to. Is it separate things? So if I want to, well, yeah, I'll try to take out 3 of them, I guess. I have 3 raises, so that would be my.
All right, so that you swing the hammer and it bashes 3 of the guards in the face, and they go right down. And there are 7 guards left. Who's next?
How many raises do we still have left as a group?
I have 4 that I haven't used yet.
So you have 4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You have 11 raises left.
So you guys want to grab the guards, and I'll grab Gage?
I was going to say, taking out 4 guards with my sword sounds like an excellent use of 4 raises. And that is exactly what I will attempt to do.
All right. So, hold on a second. So Savino leaps into the guards because he doesn't do anything subtle. Leaps into subtle? Isn't that a French word? Leaps into the guards and just starts dispatching them with his sword. His sword moving like lightning flashing across the sky. And so there were. Did I say there were 7 guards left? Now there are 3 guards. Or is that right? 3 guards? Yeah. Math.
Yeah.
It's math. I'm a game designer.
And does that count as showing that there is more to nobility than I forget what the aristocratic quirk
Yes,
is.
yes, it is. Get a hero point. All right. Let's see. We are still at like 3 raises.
3.
All right. Do you want to run downstairs and go deal with Mr. Gage?
I want to bring Gage back into this room.
You want to go grab him and bring him back in the room? Okay.
There are people in here that have some issues that I need to work out.
All right. So you head down the stairs to grab Gage, and the rest of you hear this fisticuff, massacre going on, and they are fighting back up the stairs. Okay? Because you spend a raise, and that's what happens next. All right. 2. Hey, it's you 2.
Yay.
Ronaldo and Puyol.
Hmm?
So between the 2 of you, which of you goes first? Or are you
go first?
Doesn't matter to me.
If it's okay, I'll go.
Yeah.
What I've done is I've and John, correct me if I'm wrong, but did you say that one of the guards had a musket?
All of them.
All of them.
Yeah. So I gather in one hand 2 wet blankets, and in the other hand, I take the musket from one of the fallen.
Okay, that's
guard.
1 raise. If you look around and you see the musket, and you're like, I have a musket.
And then I'm probably pausing, right? So this is that was my weapon in when I was a soldier. That I led a troop of musketeers. Is there a guard near me?
Yes.
I do not shoot him. I point the musket at him and tell him to get down on the ground, and he goes down on the ground. I just hold him there. So I'm taking him out of the fight, but I'm not killing him.
Okay, I'll buy that. The so yeah, you grab you hold the musket on him, and he's clearly like rent-a-cop soldier, right? And he's like, and he drops his gun, and he's like, All right, and lastly is Ronaldo.
All right. And that leaves 1 guard or 2?
It's 2.
2. All right. Well, Ronaldo takes a sword and does a perfect, trained swordsman's pose. But because Father didn't let him actually fight where he could get hurt, he leaps in looking like a skilled swordsman. When he lands, he looks like a cat who just jumped in a pool and just hits him with the flat of the blade 5 times and takes them both out.
That's
Like,
fantastic. That's fantastic. I approve heartily. So yeah, the last 2 guards just go down.
I still have 2 raises.
Yep. Yes, you do.
Then my second to last is I'm going to drag Gates into a cell, and my last I'm going to lock the cell.
All right. So yeah, and he doesn't have any raises left, so he can't go yes and. So you're punching, and he throws this massive haymaker just right for your jaw, and because you're you do the. And it just goes right by him, and you trip his leg, and he tumbles into the cell just as the climactic music hits, and you slam the door and lock it.
Look around and go, there are 9 more cells. Let's get these bastards in there. Oh, which is the one that denied me food?
Which is that was Gage.
Oh, okay, good. Okay, I thought it was one of these other guys. He was going out the window.
So the fire is still out of control.
You should put it out.
I still have one raise left.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up the little talkie door on Gage's cell. I go, it'd be a shame to leave you in here to burn, Mr. Gage.
You have that intimidate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What does he say when you do that? What is your intent?
He's gonna tell us how to get out of here. without running into any more guards.
So the fire is spreading because it's an action movie, so fire spreads across stone.
Yes.
And because cars explode when they land in pools. So one of my favorite things, I remember standing up and laughing so hard and falling out of my seat in the movie The Last Boy Scout, when a car lands in a pool and explodes. Okay, so and he says, he's like, you wouldn't leave me here to die. He's trying to call your bluff, and you just kind of like, are you sure?
Yeah.
And he says, there's a boat. You have to go down.
How far down?
Below the laboratory.
I see. And where's the mistress now?
I don't know. She doesn't stay here. So he says she doesn't stay here, and because we're playing a con-friendly game, she's from Montaigne, and some of you have heard the stories of the Montaigne nobility who can teleport in and out of places.
Oh, yeah. I think I understand your meaning, sir.
Now let me out.
I'll
Just
shut the
close
thing.
it.
Yeah. We'll have to let him out before we leave, naturally. I wouldn't leave a man to burn alive, but he says there's a ship.
It's because you're a hero.
Correct.
Heroes don't do that.
No.
They may threaten it.
Yeah.
Might have done it in our past, but we're better now.
Exactly.
Well said.
But it's good. Going down will lead us past that machine. We should make sure that's destroyed before we leave here, too.
I think Ernst needs to work out something with that machine, too.
That'll happen.
What's his name? Vincent. Is he still around?
Not Vincent.
Nathaniel?
Nathaniel.
Nathaniel. Correct.
Nathaniel.
You don't see him anywhere.
Well, hopefully he got to the roof.
With his kite?
With his folding flying kite.
Do we hear screaming, got it falling to the ground?
Yeah.
Unless
So what do you guys
waylaid
do?
by guards.
Okay, so what's the layout at the top of the stairs again? What the door? There's stairs continuing to, or there's two doors.
You don't know what's up, but Noah has been down, and he's noticed that this is a lighthouse. That circular part is a lighthouse, and down below there is a door, but he doesn't know where. But no, you don't know where it goes. You just know that there's a bottom floor, and then there's a door.
I think we should just move fast, move hard, crash the machine, get in the boat.
Yeah.
If the lady gets back, we just run over.
We should search for our effects. They probably took your things when they took us here, so.
They did.
Oh, wait, we have that one cowering guard, don't we?
Oh,
where are our things, sir?
They're at the top of the lighthouse.
Because of course they are.
How many more guards are here?
We should go to the top of the lighthouse.
Did you ask how many more guards are here?
Yeah, to the guard.
Yeah. None. There are no more guards.
So if we take you with us and we see one more guard, what should we do to you?
Let me go.
Maybe from the top of the lighthouse.
Ah!
So I'm going to ask you again, how many more guards are here?
There are no more guards. I promise. I promise. I promise.
Okay. We bring them.
All right, so you bring them with you. Go up to the top of the lighthouse, and one more floor up is kind of like it looks like it's where Henry Gage slept. So there's a bed, well, not a bed, there's more like a cot. And there's also a big wooden chest that's locked. That lock doesn't last long because one of you either shoots it off or, whatever. And you open it up and there are all of your things in it. So all of your weapons, all your pistols, all your swords, all your medallions, everything.
My bags of flour.
And your 4 bags of flour are to the side.
They didn't mess with them.
No, he didn't mess with them.
Thank
He was going to use them for biscuits.
What a way to use them. So, does he have any stuff?
Does he have any stuff? Not really. He has his hammer, and he has a bag of gold. He has a bag. He has a bag of guilders. Folded up, folding money.
It's kind of a sad life.
Ernst kisses his medallion and puts it around his neck. We're now at the top of the lighthouse and there's no sign of Nathaniel? Or are we still at the, okay.
You've reached the top of the lighthouse, yeah. There's one more step up to, where the lighthouse light proper is, but you don't see him up there and there's no way for him to stand on anything.
I suppose now is maybe not the most opportune time to ask, is any of you a trained sailor?
I have a little training in that direction.
Got a little bit. Used to ride on the ship.
Very good.
They wouldn't really let me
Hopefully
drive.
it's a small boat then.
I watched the help with the boat. I picked up a few things.
You know what they say about sailing on the ship? There's nothing to do but learn how to sail a ship. So, you guys gonna go back downstairs now?
Yeah, now that as soon as Ernst has his medallion back, he, if he's nothing else, he's a monster hunter, and he hasn't seen anything more monstrous than this machine. So he takes Gage's hammer and throws it over his shoulder, and then proceeds down the stairs and sort of walks right through the burning fire and down to the laboratory.
Oh, I would like to do one thing before we leave the high ground here. Can I get the lay of the land from? Is there a window from Gage's room?
It's a big stone island.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really big, actually. It's rather small.
Mm-hmm.
It's a small stone island. You don't see any trees. There's no grass. Nothing like that. It's just this big hunk of stone out in the middle of nowhere. And there's a lighthouse. And you don't see any structures on the island itself,
Mm-hmm.
which collaborates with the idea that you go down and suddenly you're underwater. You have the sense of being underwater, right? So all there is here is this lighthouse.
Oh, okay. Do I see the ship or any other ships?
You see a boat.
Okay, a boat. Okay.
So yeah, I'm a stickler for terminology.
Oh,
So
okay.
you see, it has one mast,
Mm-hmm.
but it's a small schooner. So you'll all be able to fit on it very easily. It's more like a yacht. And I mean that in the technical term of it.
Right.
It's like a small private boat. So you guys head down the stairs, and you get to the laboratory. And as you get close to the laboratory, you're hearing this very strange sound. It's this weird sound of, when you put your hand over your mouth and you make the type sound. That's what you hear. It's very low. And you feel it in your gut first. It's like a vibration in your stomach. And then as you get down into the laboratory room, you see this huge hole. And there's blood all around it. It's like someone took a magic knife, and cut a hole in reality itself, and then ripped it open with their bare hands.
Oh no.
So there's this bleeding, ugly, awful hole that just makes you just feel really uncomfortable. it's the kind of uncomfortable you get from watching a David Lynch film, right? It's just, this isn't right. This should not exist. Whatever this thing is just wrong. And it's right next to the table. And on the table, strapped onto the table, is Nathaniel. And standing between Nathaniel and the hole is Madame Vampa. And she has a pistol up next to his head. And she has a glass of wine in the other hand. And both of her hands are covered with gore. Not just blood, gore. Like the thick viscera of a surgeon reaching into someone to move the lungs around, right? And she has a pistol, and the lever is right there within her grasp. And she goes, so, here we are. I do not have an appropriate glass. My wine is empty. So we have a choice. You can proceed to move further, and Nathaniel here will die, and I will escape. Or you can go back to your cells. I will allow out-of-character strategizing.
Hell no. That's my out-of-character strategy.
This is what my friend Jess Heidick calls the John Wick social meat grinder moment.
Heroic doesn't mean stupid.
So what are the odds that we can get the drop on her and somehow, like, get to her before she's able to pull the trigger and hurt poor Nathaniel?
You will have to roll. She's a villain. You will have to roll more raises than she does.
As a group or as an individual?
Someone has to roll more raises than she does. Because if she has more raises than any of you, not all of you, but any of you, she will go first, and she will kill him. And then she will escape.
Oh, okay.
So we need to roll really well or have a
I
really
can put
good
together
distraction.
a 12 die dice pool.
Wow.
Can anybody do something with that's with a hero point? Can anybody do one higher?
Remember, if you help each other, you get 3 bonus dice.
That's with that.
Oh, that's...
So
can
you
only
can't...
get one help?
You only get 1 help.
Okay.
Okay, this is totally metagaming out of character.
I am totally allowed. I don't care.
Okay. I've got the advantage fascinate, so I can keep her attention on me.
Good work.
Which
You still need to get you. So remember,
yeah.
The person who has the most raises says who goes next.
Okay.
So if one of you gets more raises than her, you can point at someone else and say he goes.
Yeah, my approach would be I would just try to run in and grapple her. That would be, that's what that I could put together an 11 die pool with someone helping me on that.
Also,
Then,
I have one. I'm sorry. I have 3 danger points left. I will not use it. I will not use them for this scene. I'll let you guys know.
Okay, so you can't kill Nathaniel.
I can.
That's
But
a danger
I'm
point.
not going to. Let me put it this way: I'm not going to use. The only way I will use a danger point is to kill Nathaniel. I won't use it to make you guys fail or make things tougher or anything like that. That's the only way I'll use it. Good call.
So I'm also assuming that she probably has a better skill than I do. So
she is a bigger villain than Henry Gage was. So
I'm putting our odds somewhere around 20%.
I'm going to refill my cup so you guys can talk without me around. And I will be back.
I'm putting our odds at about 20% that I could roll as many or more than her, and that might be 15 to 20%. But honestly, that might be better than Nathaniel's odds. In general, because I don't think he's long for anywhere. And I don't know about Nathaniel, but I'd rather go out, in a blaze of glory than in jail cell for 15 years. So.
Yeah, I think that's more. I mean, that's a bigger dice pool than I'm able to come up with. I mean, I can think of some creative things to do. There's a cabinet full of those Arcana vials.
Oh yeah. Yep.
That we
could
could
definitely use as. So my first thoughts would be, if somehow I got the first advantage, I would grapple her, and then give it to either intimidate or a fascinate or something like that. The idea is to burn down her.
Okay.
Her raises, so we can stay ahead of her.
Yeah. Okay, so that's kind of like how my fascinate would work. Like, let's say I get 2 raises on that approach. She's got to burn raises to get away from me, effectively.
Yeah, and as long as I'm at 9 and then she burns 2 and she's at 7, then I can pick one of you guys who can burn 3 more. And once she's at no raises, then she's at her.
True.
You guys ready?
So Savino.
Okay, and and this is Gar just reminding the other players, we still haven't used the slippery floor.
It's a free raise.
True.
It doesn't count towards your raises. So if you roll 7, it doesn't count that you have 8. But it is a free raise you can use to make her slip.
And fascinate isn't enough of a distraction by itself.
Yeah, it sounds like in a sense, fascinate is a social weapon, the same way that my rapier is a physical weapon. Is that a good analogy?
Yeah.
I was just curious because I also have fascinate. We could do a double fascinate. That's 2 hero points to distract her. Surely that's got to work.
Fascinate is an advantage. Is that right?
Yeah.
Let's look up the rules and see what it
Page
says.
149.
Oh, thank you.
Yep.
We could both use fascinate at the same time, act like we're changing sides.
Oh, dude.
Throw her off.
You can totally use fascinate to keep her from acting.
Okay.
You can do that, yes. You spend a hero point and she pays attention to you until the end of the scene, or unless someone interrupts her, or, whatever.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the 2 Vodachians have got fascinate.
The 2 Vodachi may have fascinate. Who would have thought?
Yeah.
What are the chances?
So, you guys ready to go?
Yep.
All right. Let's start with the big guy.
Just so you know, we figure even a small chance is better than what he would have in the self, or that's not a way to live. So.
All right. Noah,
who's going to help me and how?
What is your approach?
My approach is to go through and grab her and grapple her.
Just straight plus skill. What's your approach?
Brawn plus brawl. So
okay, Ronaldo, what is your approach?
I think I'll go with the finesse and weaponry.
All right. Payul, what is your approach? You looking up a rule?
Yeah, sorry.
No, it's cool. It's cool. This is a tense moment.
Could you explain the difference between warfare and weaponry?
Warfare is strategy and tactics on the battlefield. So it is. What you can do, what I'll let you do, is you can make a warfare check, and it's commanding. It's being in command of people. So you can use your raises. I will if you make a warfare check, a wits plus warfare check, I will let you add your raises to somebody else's raises to beat her score.
Yeah, that sounds great. I'll do that, trying to pick out tactical advantages.
Okay. All right.
Actions.
Witold.
I'm gonna go panache convince.
Panache convince.
Yeah.
Sounds good. I'll buy that. Savino.
Panache and tempt.
I dig that.
Because the last thing she should do is pay attention to anything other than the very large angry man.
Yes, indeed. And Ernst, what is your approach?
I'm going to use finesse and aim for the not the hammer that I was so purposefully wielding, but my trusty old crossbow.
Okay. Everybody roll dice.
Actually, and Matt, would Puyo be willing, because he's doing that, will he spend a hero point so I get those 3 dice?
Absolutely.
Cool. All right. That's not.
Ooh.
Hmm.
Okay, so that we're fair, I am going to write down how many raises I got. Why don't I have a pen? I'm cleaning up my office and I moved everything around.
He just did that to raise dramatic tension.
Shh. Never tell people how the trick is done. Here we go. All right. So I have written down how many raises I made.
All right.
Who got the most raises? Let's start. Noah?
I probably did at 8.
You have 8?
8.
Okay. Ronaldo, how many did you get?
3.
Okay. Poyol, how many did you get?
4.
4. Okay, so you get to add those to Noah's. So
Yes.
Noah actually has 11, right?
12.
12, yes, 12. Okay. We told, how many do you have?
5.
5? Savino?
2.
2, okay. And Ernst, how many do you have?
3.
3. You're okay, here we go. You ready to see how many she has?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Oh my god.
Whew.
I rolled the 12 dice, and the first 4 were all 10s, and then the next one was just like 1. So I was like, oh, this is awful. I was like, I thought it was going to be amazing. But let's see. All right. So
Noah, you go first.
I roll through, and I just grab her, and I go, little lady, stay with me.
Okay. That means you have
11 left.
11 left. Who goes next?
I guess I do. I'm going to be going for a while. So
Do you want to throw her into the portal?
not yet. So I guess my first thing would be I would turn her towards the Vodace contingent, who are going to be wooing her.
Well, it's not a spell. right?
Mhm.
It's more of a so using it now
Mhm.
is a little bit. It's not. It's. I mean, it would be more like, hey, let's talk about this. If they got to go first, they'd be able to use fascinate, right? But
Okay.
now that like violence is broken out and somebody's grabbed her, right?
Well, they could also talk about how their friend is an animal, and
Yes, they could do
approach it that
yeah.
way, and just try to keep the wild beast away from her. Throw
So
me under the bus.
remember, intimidate and tempt and all those other things you can use to whittle down the villain's raises.
Mhm.
So, what do you guys want to do?
I give it to Savino.
Okay. So, as you were saying, I think the odds. I don't think I can use fascinate now. But as I was saying, use the temptation to draw her attention to to me. And I kind of like what you were saying. If we're in the middle of the battle, the best thing to do is to be shouting horrible things about this great brute manhandling a woman and blah 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 blah, and pay attention to me, not the man who's throttling you.
So, how many raises do you want to use?
At this point, I'll use one of those.
Okay,
I've got
so
one
down to
left.
6.
Okay.
Other Vodace bastard. I mean, fellow. When I was at GenCon last year, my dear friends, the guys who do the Italian translation of 7C, were there, and you were at the. Who was at the LARP? Somebody
I
was.
was. They were fantastic.
They're really great. And when I went to Italy and I was talking to them, I was like, "So how did I get Vodace right and wrong?" And Nicola goes, "Oh, you got that perfect. All the men are bastards and all the women are witches." So, Ronaldo, what do you want to do? How do you want to use your?
Let's see. She's in a bear hug being wooed by Savino.
Mm-hmm.
I predict
Probably
his
not the
woo
only
is
time
stronger
this would
than
happen.
Ronaldo's.
So what would you like to do? You have 2 raises. How would you like to use them? If you do something outside your approach, it costs 2 raises, but you can still do it. So you could, for example, let the guy out of the machine.
Well, luckily, I have a dynamic approach. So
Excellent.
I will spend a hero point to switch over to, I don't know, something suitable for getting him out of the machine.
Yes.
And I will do that.
That totally works. So you pull our friend of the Green Heart out of the machine, and he collapses into your arms and he says, "Oh, thank you.
Of course, my friend.
All right. She still has 6 raises left. Who's next? Mr. I have 11.
I will take 1 to, while she's bear hugged, I'm going to walk through all the vials and stuff while I'm threatening her. Basically, anything that's breakable with that machine, I kind of want to just flail around with her.
And she's screaming, "No! No! No! No!"
So, your machine broke.
Who goes next?
Who wants to go next?
I can spend one to just.
I want to go.
Yeah.
You can have her go next.
I can just keep whittling her down.
Got to whittle her down to nothing, then.
Yeah. So, yeah, continue tempting her down. No, pay attention to me, not your destroyed machine, and not, and not the guy who's got you in a bear hug.
So essentially, you're taunting her. You're.
I like that. Yes.
You're just like, "Oh, your poor machine. Oh."
Oh, I know a guy who can fix this. I'm sure.
Does that 5? She has 5 raises left. Okay.
6 or yeah, the 5 after that. Okay.
Who's next?
I'll go.
All right.
We told.
So I've got 5 raises. I'll tell her, I'll be like, there's nothing left for you here. We've destroyed the machine. We're destroying all of this nonsense that you've been draining from innocent people. Just take us out of here. No more blood needs to be shed. No more lives need to be lost.
So you're gonna whittle her down to 4
I've
raises?
got 5, so I'll dump it in if that gets
All
her
right.
stopped.
That gets rid of her raises.
But now we still have 10 raises left.
Now, you can turn those raises into hero points.
Mhm.
Right? She has no actions left. You know, you've kind of wrecked her machine, but the portal is still open. The portal is still. I'm David Lynch's face. You know, it's still, you know, really scary stuff. Right?
Come through the portal to France. Come on.
What I want to know is, where are our significant others' information stored? Is it in this building or elsewhere? So
She doesn't stay here.
I'm going to potentially burn, because it would be a switch in approach. I just want to squeeze her and interrogate, because I don't care if somebody kills me. I care if somebody kills the people I care about.
So you want to spend 2 raises. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. So as long as that information is out there, they're not safe. So that's what I want to do. I want to squeeze her and say, where is the information about our families?
It costs 2 raises because it's outside your approach.
Yep.
And she says, they are through the portal.
Seems simple enough. We should go through the portal.
Go to the portal.
Have the hubris of trusting.
Yes, see, or we go through the portal. See what happens.
All right. I think the way is clear. I'll take a hero point. Sounds right to me, guys.
Does anyone want to stop him from doing that? No?
Hand on his
I'll
shoulder.
gingerly
John
walk
Wick
through the
wanna
portal
see-
and start trying to peer into it.
I want to see if the portal closes after one person goes through it. That's my biggest fear.
I grab
Fortunately,
him and pull him back.
Ernst is going to grab you and pull you back and go, oh,
Ah!
oh my little Vodace friend. I thought you were more wily than that. So, do you guys want to essentially call this a scene, and we can transfer your pieces into hero points?
Yeah, I figure we'll just tie them up at some point if we can.
Okay, I'm going to do some quick, just really quick math. Everybody gets a hero point. So we're going to just turn all of your raises into hero points. Everybody gets a hero point. And cut to, she's all tied up. And because at least one of you is a scholar, you know that you should tie her hands to her sides.
Mm-hmm.
And she's sitting down, and the machine has been completely smashed. Right. And the Eisen fellows are like, one of them used the hammer and the other one just used his hands.
Yeah.
However, there is still the portal is still open, and the cabinet full of arcana is still there.
Oh, that's coming with us. Who knows what it's used for, but that's coming with us.
Yeah, let's ask her what the how this works, and if these can be restored somehow to their rightful owners, or if we're or if we should what she does with this stored arcanum.
What the benefit is there for telling you anything?
I take off her left high heel and I break the heel off it. I throw it across the room.
Could I use a hero point on heartfelt plea?
Sure.
Ooh.
Go for it. What does that do?
Or heartfelt appeal, rather. Spend a hero point to implore another character to follow her conscience, look the other way for the greater good, or otherwise do the right thing when it isn't in her best interest to do so.
Okay. So you spend a hero point, and it works because there's no roll a die and see if your investment works.
Right.
So and she says, those poor souls that I took all the arcana from, they are dead. Except for that one.
Yeah, most of them.
And she points at Ernst.
And I look over at Nathaniel.
Yes?
I got 2.
Yes, I'm still here. I'm still alive. Despite plotting otherwise.
That's 2.
And she says, use the injector. And she gestures over to the table. And there happens to be a very large, painful-looking syringe.
Yeah. It's more like a caulking gun than a syringe.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, you know, the Thayans are a little bit ahead of their European counterparts. So they actually have syringes.
Oh, there we go. Well, Nathaniel, do you remember which of these are yours?
No.
Let's
All
try
of them.
let's try a green one.
Label.
As a matter of fact, there are ones that are more green than others.
Yeah, I would say this is the greenest one I can find. So let's see if this brings a little kick back in his step.
So we have a doctor.
Yeah, I'd like to
Yeah.
just kind of make sure that these that the syringe is really going to be safe to inject. This was sort of medically sound procedure. Obviously not understanding the arcana part probably, but just that the science of the injection and stuff isn't going to cause any problems. And if I can figure out,
Go ahead.
just if there's any way I can figure out how it works or get a better understanding to make a more informed decision, I'd love to do that.
So if there was a side effect or a bad thing, I would make you roll. But you know what you're doing because you're a doctor and you're a hero, so you're competent. But I will ask you, do you want to do it to the NPC first or to the PC first?
I would do it to the NPC first because he's had more taken out and more done to him.
Okay.
Yeah, if there's any risk or any, if there's any chance that, if we want to think about it in terms of something going wrong, I certainly volunteer to be the one to go first.
I was confident it was going to work, but
it's going to work.
Okay, yes, in that case.
Needed the most help.
Yeah.
So you give him the injection and he says, "Ah, tickles!" And he gets a hero point back.
Great.
Now, do you want to do it to the other guy?
Ernst, you ready?
I suppose so.
So you give him the injection, and strangely enough, Ernst, it does tickle. And you get a hero point back.
I managed not to laugh, however.
That's a resolve.
Now, Fuel, you're from Sarmatia, right?
No, I'm from Castile.
You're from Castile, okay. Actually, which of you's from... Oh, the two Eisen guys. So the two Eisen guys, you guys deal with... and the guy from the Sarmatian Commonwealth. You guys deal with demons and monsters a lot. Right? And also kind of demonic bargains from Sarmatia. And you guys come from the land of vampires and things like that. And you look at all of those bottles and you think, what if you injected like a lot of this into someone? That would probably be really dangerous.
For me or them?
For them. Or, well, who knows?
Sorry, that was a very Ison thought.
Yeah.
I was just thinking Eisen Guy sounds like a really great podcast. You guys should think about it.
How many of these things are left?
There's about 24. Hey, Witold, do you have the
Yep.
summation sorcery?
No, I do not.
Okay. Because this would be a great time for your demon to show up and go, hey.
Yeah, you might want to hang on to those.
Does anybody know somebody that we could bring these to figure out?
You idiots are dealing with things you do not understand.
I deal with that every day.
Well, before we forget, we should go and let our Avalonian friend out of his prison before he cooks.
Oh,
Oh yeah, there is an uncontrolled fire upstairs.
Only a couple of moments have gone by, though.
Oh, okay, very good.
As you guys were contemplating what to do, that doesn't count as real time.
Gotcha. But we're in agreement then we should take these back and find a way perhaps to make good even though these people have lost their lives.
yeah.
As
I
a
think so.
doctor, Dr. Pule, you're fairly convinced that this is like super powerful medicine, right? And if you, I'll tell you what, why don't you make a wits plus scholar roll for me? Anybody else who has scholar? If you want to make a scholar
Actually, I
roll,
do.
if you guys want to make a scholar roll, every raise I will answer a question about this stuff.
The pugilist is a scholar of the sweet science. I like that.
No, he runs a school for wayward youth.
Nice.
Just occurred to me too, aren't there like 14 people in this house? Because we didn't actually kill any of the guards, did we?
No, you didn't kill any of the guards.
So there's
Yeah, we
like
didn't kill
13,
anybody.
14
Killing in this
people
game
up
is
there.
a deliberate action. You have to
Right.
knock people down and then kill them.
So we have an actual like prison of war camp going on up there with an uncontrolled fire, not just one guy.
That's correct.
I have 2 raises.
3.
2.
Just a 1.
2, 3.
Okay, so the person with 3.
4.
So essentially, it's counted up. How many do you guys have? You have 3, 2.
4.
Yeah, everybody hold up your fingers for how many raises you have. So that's, oh wow, that's a lot. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. You guys can ask me 14 questions about the
Oh, wow.
Oh, jeez.
about the stuff.
Hmm.
And these could be metagame knowledge, not just limited to
Oh, yeah.
character.
I
suppose?
don't care.
Okay.
One of the questions I would want to know is does it have to go into the, what happens if you inject it into a different person that it came out of? Because so far our experiment is only to put it back.
They get a hero point.
Okay. Whoever it is.
Whoever it is.
Even if they're not heroic.
Yes.
Hmm.
Next.
Special way that they need to be transported, so or preserved.
They are in
Just-
glass containers. So glass containers. That's 2. I will let you guys, when you're done, you can convert every 2 raises you made into a hero point when you guys are done
Gotcha.
that you haven't used.
Can this be used to cure like supernatural diseases and such? Or perhaps
Some.
curses? Some? Okay.
Some. If someone could use a hero point to cancel something, they could
Gotcha.
use the hero point they get to cancel the thing that they got, if that makes
Okay.
sense.
Mm-hmm.
Are there any universities that I've dealt with that has been doing research like in that area as well, but with a sort of a more not with malicious intent, but like, are any of the sort of cutting edge Castile medical science dealing in this area that they would be a good place to take it to?
You've never heard of anybody trying something like this.
Cutting edge.
As a matter of fact, the very notion of it is like super unethical.
Oh,
That's
4. You have 10 questions left.
Do we get the sense that Aurelia Vampar was was gathering these for herself, or were they stockpiling them to be like an overload, something to overload, or is that something we can suss out from?
Yeah. Well, you look around the lab and you look at things. She was doing this not only for herself, but also delivering them to someone else.
Okay.
As a child, my tutor, Don Matoro, spoke of a civilization before ours with great technology. Is this from them?
Is this from them?
This machine? Yeah.
No. This is a modern invention.
That seems more frightening to me.
How many do we have left?
You've asked 6 questions.
Who designed this machine?
Not her.
Yeah, that might be a thought.
Anything else?
We still have, what, 6 left or 5?
You've asked 7 questions. You had 14, so you have 7 left. So if you ask one more, you can convert the rest into 3 hero points that you guys can give to whoever you want.
We can ask whatever we want, right? Not necessarily about the potions and whatnot.
Well, you can ask about the machine, and you can ask about the potions.
Darn, I'd love to know where the portal really went.
It's still open.
One more question that I'm going to ask. I just want to make sure that the group's okay with it. Is there any particular rare things that it takes to make this machine?
I didn't think about that. You would need to make like a scholarship roll to build it. So it's like an alchemical machine. So yeah, let's say you would need alchemical materials to build it. They're not like magical underneath a dragon's egg, type stuff, but they're things like sulfur and mercury and things like that. So you would need that kind of thing to build it.
So like the Cobra weather control device in G.I. Joe.
Yes, like the Cobra weather device in G.I. Joe.
Yeah.
All right. Do you guys have any more questions? That would leave you guys with 3 hero points.
Well, I used my question, but I'd love to know where the portal goes. If anyone wants to use a question on it.
I'm personally thinking we throw a torch through there. Throw a couple torches through.
All right. So no more questions?
I'm good.
You get 3 hero points. You guys can decide how. You know what? Do you want to divvy them out to 3 of you, or do you want to keep them in a common pool that you guys can draw from?
First of all, anybody below 3 right now?
Yeah. Is anybody below 3 hero points?
Just at 3.
Nope. And we'll keep them in a pool.
Okay. So let's make them a common pool that you guys can draw from. You have 3 hero points. Cool. So there's the portal. You guys are going to rescue the guards and everything upstairs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna make too much of a fuss about that. Those guys have been defeated. You guys are
Do we have to? What about the out of control fire? Do we need to take actions to?
I think if you guys work together, you can put out the fire.
Okay.
I'm not too worried about that.
No, gentlemen. We have a work crew. They can put out the fire. I mean, come on. That is just how things are done.
So Oriella Vampa, she says, she's sitting there and she says, you had the best let me go.
And why should we be doing that?
I know you're not going to kill me.
But maybe we enjoy your company.
I am certain that is a lie. Where did my French accent go? Hold on, let me get bonjour. Oh, there we go. There is my French accent. It's terrible. My friend Fabian will hang me later.
So you're saying we should put you through the portal?
I am the only one keeping your relatives and friends safe.
And that's why we need to keep you so close at hand. You're
Oh,
our
no.
insurance.
You don't understand. If I do not report back to my superiors, all of your friends and family will die.
Who are your superiors and where will you report back to them?
I will not tell you that.
Seems legit. We should probably let her go then.
Ronaldo, do you have the star-crossed hubris? Is that what's going on
No.
here?
No, just trusting.
You have the trusting hubris?
Hmm.
Oh, have you gotten your hero point for it yet?
I have. I almost went through the portal.
Because you've earned it. If I do not report back to my superiors, all of your friends and family will die. And they will
Where
die
will you?
in terrible ways.
So where will you go when we, if we decide to let you go and report to these superiors?
She looks over at the portal and she says, I will go through there.
And how do we know that you'll actually not just have our relatives killed anyways?
You'll have to take my word.
I know one of
You'll
us.
forgive me, madam, if I do not find that especially reassuring.
What choice do you have? The assassins are
Got a
already in
point.
place. My superiors will already be upset that you have destroyed the machine. You have cost them many thousands of guilders.
I think your incompetence cost them many thousand guilders. They would have sent somebody that knew what the heck they were doing. This machine would still be around, would still be locked up in those cells.
It is true that I underestimated your skills.
Well, people don't realize I got brains.
However, I do not underestimate your morality or your honor. You will not kill me, but if I do not report back, your friends and family will die.
We know she's not the main, right? She's not the main boss, so we're not done. We've got to get to her bosses anyways, and so keeping her, I'm not sure really accomplishes anything. I think there is a point to what she's saying.
Yeah.
Get whatever leverage we can and information we can now, but we have to take a chance that she is honorable on her word, because if not, it's out of our hands anyways.
If she stays here, they die. If she leaves, maybe they die. That's the better chance.
I look at her and I say, you're right. I wouldn't kill you. But if you hurt the kids, I'll find you. And I'll hurt you real bad. And you'd really, really hope that I would.
I believe you.
The kids are the ones keep me good.
Does anyone want to spend a hero point and activate her hubris?
Sure, I'll do that.
Okay. No, Ernst. Okay. Her villainous hubris is that she always keeps a promise.
So are we to understand that if
figure that out? But I'm giving that to you guys because I'm so generous.
So are we to understand that if you go back and report to your superiors, your business with us, with our friends and loved ones, is over?
I promise you this. I will go, if you let me go, I will go back to my superiors and tell them that everything is on schedule and working as it should. That will buy you time.
I go across the room and I pick up the high heel that I broke off her shoe and I give it back and say, I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, if you've given us your solemn word, that's the best that we can ask from you. But expect to meet us again.
I do. So do you let her go?
Yeah.
I guess we do. Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So you let her go, and she, does the classic "my hands have been tied," and she says, "Are you sure you don't want to follow me?"
Well, she did say it was safe.
No, she didn't.
Can you special hubris just for you? Not trusting, it's gullible.
Would you swear to us that there's no harm to come to us from following you through that portal?
From following you through the portal? No. There is no harm to you. What is on the other side of the portal, however, that may harm you.
Forgive me, madam, but this is one time when I will not accompany a lady.
All right, so she goes through the portal, and the portal immediately closes behind her. So, do you guys want to get on the boat and get out of here?
That's what we do, I think.
That sounds like an excellent plan to me.
All right.
I want to grab Mr. Keith's little bag of gold because that'll feed some kids.
All right. So I'm going to take a quick restroom break like we did before, and then I have about an hour left of the adventure. So we'll take a really quick, personal break, and then we'll come back and we'll finish up. Cut to a month later. And it's outside of an orphanage. And there's a sign that says orphanage in Eisen, which I don't know. And through a window comes this, smashing through the glass of the window is a person dressed all in black with a belt full of knives. And the camera pans up and it's you guys on the other side. And I'm going to speak for your character, Mr. Noah the Eisen. So we get a hero point because I'm speaking for your character.
All right.
And Noah says, "Is that the last one?" Commence.
Let's get him.
That's what they said. They were going to hit this specific orphanage, so that should be it.
I try to get behind. I stand in front of the window.
Yeah, he got thrown out. He didn't jump out the window.
He got thrown out the window.
He got thrown out the window. And so he's like down on the ground.
Somebody want to, talk to him? Probably should ask that before we threw him out the window. But.
So, and then we go to a montage of you guys at various places through Thea, throwing around assassins at, your sister's house, at your church, at, and all of these different places where you guys have thwarted all of these assassins. We're doing the short version for the con.
All right.
Do you want to go down?
We're serious now.
I'm sorry, what?
Said I think they know we're serious now.
Okay, so do they know? Have we yet learned where they're coming from?
Not yet. A strange thing happens. You deal with these assassins, and then they kind of vanish. But this one, he's like knocked out. He's out of it. This is the first time you're going to catch one of them. You've like thwarted them, but this one is unconscious and 2 stories down on the city street.
Check his body to make sure that he doesn't have any like sort of poison capsules or anything else that he could immediately disappear or kill himself before we were able to talk to him.
So you run down and you take a peek at him, and he has knives on his belt and all that other stuff. And strangely, up his sleeve, he has a small brass cylinder device, and it has a button on it.
Huh. We take that off him quickly, and
Hey, Doc, is this something?
Examine and see if I can figure out without pressing the button, but see if I can figure out what it does.
You would have to open it up. Opening it up might damage it.
Well, if we are still on the street, I will conduct everybody back into the building or the orphanage. Let's go back
Yeah, there's all
Let's
those-
see here.
Come on, my friends, back inside.
I've got Streetwise. I'd like to burn a hero point. Is there somebody in this town of mine that I know that creates gizmos like this?
Yes, as a matter of fact, you do, because you have Streetwise. You want to go talk to him?
Yeah, I go. I know a guy here, little Avalonian that they call the Eel. That he handles some of this stuff, and maybe he can tell us what it's from.
Let's take it to him.
The best lead
So-
we've had. And what about our
Yeah, we'll
friend
keep-
here?
Yeah, let's.
I'm sure he'll be happy to accompany us.
Yeah, we should. There's a lot of knives in there. Even his knives have knives.
So
Well,
you
we
take.
wouldn't want.
Oh, go ahead.
We wouldn't want him to injure himself accidentally. Divest him of his knives.
So you divest him of his knives. You tie him up. You put a gag in his mouth to make sure that he doesn't get sassy, and swipe to a little dingy Eisen style building in the middle of.
Hey, Eel, you're one of those smart guys, and we got some questions, and I'm pretty sure that you like to answer questions.
Is somebody's phone going off? I'm hearing a bzzz.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
getting
that's what it
I'm getting
sounds
that
like.
feedback
I'm hearing the
too.
buzz also.
Maybe it's me. Okay. So the eel. The eel is he's completely he has a shaved head. He's lanky, right? He's really slender. He has snake tattoos up his arms. And he looks kind of shady. But you've known him forever.
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, we
Even though he
were on a
looks-
ship once.
I'm sorry.
We were on a ship once. He was the bursar. I don't know. He carried things and had numbers. I think he did both. So, but yeah, he's usually good for this stuff. He makes all kinds of
What
crazy.
you got? Let me see it.
All right, be careful though. It's really tough. It's really scary. Who's got it?
I think we gave it to
Thought
the
it was
doctor.
Oh, there we go.
I thought you had it.
And,
So he puts it down on the table, and he looks at it, and he gets this roll that's all tied up, And he unties it, and it's got all of these really delicate tools. Some of them are surgeon's tools, you notice, Doc? But a lot of them are tinkerer's tools, too. So he starts looking at it, and he starts, he delicately takes the top part out. And he goes, "This is alchemy." And he pulls it off, and you can tell that there's a small glass vial inside, and the liquid inside is spinning. And there seems to be electricity in it. Lightning. He goes, "This is alchemy. This is right quite dangerous, it is." And he puts it back and he screws it delicately back on. "I'm not sure what it does, but if you push that button, you're gonna find out one way or another, you know what I mean?"
It's a suicide thing.
Nah, ain't that. Ain't got no poison in it. So
Thanks, Eel.
Maybe that's how he disappeared.
When he pulled it out, to a couple of you, it reminded you of that portal thing that you saw before. And he puts it back in.
Well, should we wait till our friend wakes up and discuss the situation with him?
Old-fashioned interrogation.
Or just a discussion?
If you want to interrogate him, I got some right fine truth juice in the back. The doc can inject it.
Okay.
That do you some good?
Yeah.
Right, and do me some good.
I tear off a couple of coins and give it to him and tell him you're always welcome when we have soup on Sundays.
I'm from Avalon. You gotta always make sure it ain't fairy gold. So he taps it on iron. Right, looks good.
Yeah.
So cut to
that here, but thanks.
you cut to your assassin is tied to a chair with his hands behind his back, and he kind of wakes up.
I'll administer the injection.
Ah! What was that? He says in a Castilian accent.
Just a little gravy before dinner. I'm unrolling. I've got a roll. I ran to a local butcher shop and I was like, I just need to borrow the knives, okay? I'm not going to keep them. So, and I put them in a cloth roll and I'm unrolling that on a table in front of him.
Oh, are you with the Inquisition?
On the contrary, my friend, we just have a few. Yeah, we just have a few questions for you, such as, who sent you here to us?
So he thinks for a second, and you can tell he's like struggling. And he says, "Number 8.
Most helpful.
I'm looking at Piol and I'm just going to start saying random things in Castilian to him as I'm sharpening the butcher knife.
Go, you are going to kill children. Right?
I was paid to," he says, and he's like, "Oh."
Even bad guys got a code.
Yes, mine is I do what I'm paid to do.
That's a stupid code.
Well, let us ask you, if we were to, let's say we were to return to the place that, we were to find a way to return to the place that you were to return to once you'd carried out your business, what would we meet when we got there?
Oh, death. And you can tell he looks like Oh shit, you don't want to do that.
I kind of do.
In for
Who
a pound.
does number 8 work for?
Number
Oh,
7.
Number 7?
a table.
Did he just say table?
Table.
He did.
All of
How
you are gonna
much?
die.
How
All
much?
of you are gonna die. He just talks right over you. He says, all of you are gonna die. And remember, he has the truth serum. It's like, they're gonna kill you. They're gonna kill all of you, and they're gonna kill all of you really, really slow. You should run. You should run and change your names and go to the farthest corners of the world. Just run.
I've never done what I should do.
Then you're gonna die.
So, so where do we go to hasten that process? Where do we find them?
You can't go there. You can't.
I'm just going to glance meaningfully at. Does Priol still have the cylinder?
Sure.
Glance meaningfully at Priol.
Show him the device and what would happen if I press the button.
You die.
How?
What happens immediately when he presses the button? Before the death.
Gonna go to the place and he's gonna die.
It opens a portal, doesn't it? That's what's going to kill him. What's on the other side of the portal?
No portal.
Would it only take one person there, or could it take everybody?
Yes, one of you.
Are you
Ron.
afraid to die, sir?
Yes.
No.
I'm already dead. As soon as you let me go, I'm running.
These are dangerous folks, then. The previous ones we took care of, they immediately turned into smoke once we defeated them. You're lucky. You still yet breathe.
No. I'm the unlucky one. You caught me. That means I'm dead.
If you help us and we take care of the bad ones, you will live.
You can't do that.
So basically, here's the thing. You're definitely going to die if you run out of this room right now, right?
I'm going to do everything I can to get out of Thea.
But but just between us, you're going to die. So we're your only chance. Right?
All right.
So help us help you.
You can. These are the most powerful people in the world.
No, but who are we going against?
The most powerful people in the world.
Oh, I thought you were talking about us. Us. That's so, who are they?
I don't know. I don't know who they are. These people have been alive forever. They're going to kill you. That's what happens when people cross them. People die.
Never been killed before yet. A lot of people said that they're going to kill me. I went to the market today. 3 people said that I should probably get killed.
So at that moment, I spend a danger point. I have 2. And his head snaps back, and there's a trail of blood that comes down the center of his forehead.
He exploded.
Or is this
Also, a window pane broke out in the front of the shop.
I check to see if he's dead, and if not, I administer first aid.
He is dead, dead, dead.
Do we
Suspected.
see anybody outside the window?
You want to rush to the window to go and look?
Sure.
I'm on the ground.
So you rush
I
to
am
the
rushing
window.
outside.
So you rush to the window, you rush outside, you fall to the ground. When you rush to the window, you see that there's a tiny, tiny hole. There's a cracked hole in the window that hasn't even made that spider web of cracks yet, right? And you look outside, and all the way, and you've fired a musket before, and you know that if someone were to shoot him, number one, you would hear the crack of the musket, and number two, you'd be able to see him because muskets aren't that accurate, right? You see nobody outside, and you heard nothing.
I look at the wound itself and just see, is it like a musket ball that's in there, or is there some other projectile that I've never seen before?
All right, so we're gonna get you in a second because you're gonna be like doing doctor stuff, right? But I'm gonna roll dice.
You said GMs don't roll dice.
Except
Unless
when
there's a
There's a
villain.
villain.
Yeah.
Okay. Ronaldo, you take 7 wounds as something hits you in the shoulder.
Ow.
And
So everybody down.
and a
I would-
dramatic wound. So you take 7 wounds, which gives you 1 dramatic wound. And then you take another dramatic wound.
Oh, wow.
With 2 dramatic wounds.
And it knocks you, well, it doesn't knock you to the floor. No, it doesn't do that. But it's like, and you heard this sound. You what's your wits?
3.
3, that's good enough. You heard this sound like a,
I would like to spend 1 hero point to activate leadership, and I tell everybody to get on the ground.
okay, what does that do? Tell everybody what that does.
Spend a hero point to inspire a group to action. The group must be able to hear you, but if they can and they are neutral or better disposition, they will do whatever you command, so long as it is reasonable. They are unlikely to all throw themselves off a bridge to certain death, for example. I'm just trying to say everybody down, and I want people to act on it to get away from the shooter.
So instinctively, you're all authors of your character, so you can say no. But unless you say no, I'm going to say everybody drops to the ground.
I drop to the ground, but crawl to Ronaldo to administer some aid.
Okay. You were able to take a peek at his wound. It did not look like a musket wound because lead bullets tumble and mushroom and all that other stuff. And it was a clean, round wound.
I thought we were at the cutting edge of technology with our pre-packed muskets.
So you want to administer? You want to? Do you have Miracle Worker? Can you heal a dramatic wound?
I do not, but
You know what? You do right now. So spend a hero point. You can heal a dramatic wound because you're the doctor.
I will spend it.
Okay. So you have healed Ronaldo. You're healed of 1 dramatic wound.
All right.
What would
Thank you.
everybody like to do?
I think I'm done looking out the window.
So I know that somebody said they went outside. Was that Witold, or was that?
Oh no.
That
No!
that was Savino, who
All right.
is foolhardy enough not to hit the ground.
Oh, okay. So you heard the second.
Do I see anybody at all out there?
What's your wits?
3.
3? Okay, that's good enough. Actually, why don't you make a wits? Wits. You have notice.
I do not.
Okay.
Would it be good for me to have notice?
No, well, now it's
Okay.
too late now.
Yeah.
Do you have aim?
I do have aim.
You can add aim to it. Make a wits plus aim roll.
Two raises.
2 raises. So whoever shot him is across the street. Like there's a courtyard outside.
Okay.
He's
Yeah.
all the way across the courtyard. 1 on the rooftop up there. 2.
Oh, okay.
That is an impossible shot to make with a musket. It's not just
Oh.
it's really difficult. It's like a musket can't fire that far.
Okay. Oh, okay. This is stupid, but hell. The rooftop! And so I'm dashing across the courtyard.
Okay. Dun 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 dun. Hold on.
Time
1,
to swatch some buckles.
3, 4, 5, 6. You take 7 wounds and an additional dramatic wound as you get hit by whatever it is.
Oh, okay, right. Okay. Now, dramatic wound means those stars on the death spiral, and
So what you do is
a regular wound.
you take 7 wounds. So go ahead and mark 7 regular wounds, and that means one of them is going to be a dramatic wound, right? Because
Right.
when you hit 5, that's the first dramatic wound.
Right.
Right? Then mark your second dramatic wound.
Gotcha. Okay.
Means
Can I take?
the next time he shoots at you, he gets 2 bonus dice.
Okay.
I'm
Have I
gonna look
caused
around.
enough trouble to earn my hero point for foolhardy?
Yes, you did. Good lad.
I'm going to look
Whittle-
around the room. If there's like, is there a big sturdy door, or this is the eel's tinkering shop? Is there maybe like a metal boiler or something thick?
Absolutely.
Looking around here,
There's a cauldron.
a cauldron. Okay.
It's not a big cauldron. It's something you can lift up and put in front of you. That's what you're looking for.
Yeah. Noah, you could use the cauldron for cover. I'll distract him. I'm hoping it can't pierce that much steel.
So
If
the
it can,
eel,
God help us.
the eel says, "Blimey, lad, he's hit everything he's aimed at."
Means he's due to miss. Give me the thing. I gotta go get Savino.
Sailors and the gambler fallacy.
Should we all charge? It'd be multiple targets. If there's only one shooter, you can't get all of us.
You've been hit already, but when you're feeling good, follow us.
So, what's the plan, Stan?
I don't need to be coy. I'm just going to grab the. I'll grab the cauldron and put it in front of me like put it around an arm, I guess, and try to duck my head under it and go for Savino, try to use it for cover.
Okay, so you run out to Savino, who's been hit. And you hear a ping, and the whole cauldron goes, vibrates, the way that like, if something were to hit it, right? And you get up to Savino, and it gives you enough cover. You could drag him back if you want.
I am going to do exactly that, drag him back.
So there's more ping, and then you hear like shots ricocheting off the street near your feet.
Okay.
And you get back to the shop.
I'm gonna get Whittled a nice present. That was smart. I activate my hubris, which is loyal.
Yeah.
I receive a hero point when they go back for a fallen or fallen comrade or somebody who refuses to leave.
Well done, sir. So as you guys are watching the other rooftop, you see a blue flash on the other rooftop, and then there are no more shots.
Hmm.
Hey, Eo, can you make me a whole suit of this cauldron?
What did you get me into? He's putting things in a bag.
I look at him, I go,
Most
you need
dangerous
me to
people in the
help
world."
me help you.
It's like, got the most dangerous people in the world. They've been alive forever. They're bloody numbers.
I'm 60. I'm not that old.
I'm leaving. I'm going back to Avalon, where it's safe, where there's fairies who turn you into trees for 1,000 years.
I knew you didn't have what it takes to stay at Ison.
Blood, the ice, vampires, werewolves, zombies, ghouls, ghasts. Can't trust nobody.
You too, man. So before you leave, can you make me a suit of armor out of this cauldron type thing?
Oh, fine. So what he does is he makes you a Clint Eastwood breastplate.
Work, maybe.
I don't know if it'll stop it or not.
It'll give me foolhardy confidence.
Now I'm out of here.
Thanks, Eel.
So he leaves you in the shop, and he just leaves the shop. Just leaves all the stuff there, leaves everything. And on the table is that little device.
So Ernst picks it up and says, I've run away once in my life, and I'm all done with that. And he holds the button up, and he clicks it, or he opens up the thing.
Ernst vanishes.
Well then.
I'm sure this is fine. I'm sure this is fine.
I assume the device
hands or something.
Maybe it's short range, and the guy was managing to lie through the potion. Yeah.
So Ernst, you are standing in a black room that seems to be made of a strange stone. It's a circular room. There is a symbol on the floor. There's a circle, and inside the circle is an eye, and inside the eye is a star. And you're standing on that symbol.
Do I recognize this symbol at all?
I don't know. Do you recognize the symbol at all? Do you want to make a Wits plus Scholar roll?
Sure. So that's one raise.
One raise. It was a symbol that was used in the old empire. Some kind of mystery cult. That worshipped some kind of wisdom god.
Okay.
Maybe.
Am I able to see anything else around me outside this circle and the?
The room is really dark. It's like really dark, but you can still see. And there's a door, like a regular old door, right in front of you.
Okay, I take a breath and I step out of this sigil and I make for the door.
So you open the door, and there's a corridor, and along the corridor are windows. So it's small corridor are windows, and when you look out the window, it looks like the inside of the portal that the Montaigne lady was using. You come to another door.
Okay, I'll open this door as well.
All right. When you do, there is a huge room. It's a big circular room. And there's a big table. And on the table is that symbol. And there's chairs sitting around the table. There's 8 chairs.
But it's empty at the moment. Is there no anybody?
Empty at the moment.
Okay. Do I see anything at all that reminds me? So I saw through the windows, I saw sort of the inside of the portal. Do I see anything else that reminds me of either that the portal or the device? Did the device came with me?
Yes, the device came.
Disappear. Okay. I'm searching. So what I'm searching for is some way to bring to bring the others.
Other people with you?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, speaking of those other people, back in the eel's shop, when he vanished, you briefly heard that same eerie sound that you heard when from the portal. That was back in the Atabean Sea.
But it doesn't stay open.
Doesn't stay open. Well, it doesn't open at all. You didn't see a portal at all. All that you saw was him vanishing.
I suppose, does anybody know any Montaigne sorcerers?
Has anybody got Streetwise?
Streetwise. And I have connection.
Hero point to know a Montaigne sorcerer?
I would like to spend a hero point to know a Montaigne sorcerer.
Cut 2.
This is my neighborhood. I know the craziest people here.
So you open, you're knocking on a door. Bang, 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 bang. And then the door opens. What? And there's a guy with the black hair, long black hair that's tied in a ponytail. He's wearing a chemise. He's wearing a big poofy, shirt with the wrists and everything. He's wearing the tight pants, and he's got no boots on. And he says, "Oh, why did you wake me up at this time?"
I brought friends and wine.
Well, I appreciate the wine, of course. But why did you bring the friends? That means there is less wine.
This wine's just for you.
I'm sorry, what?
This wine's just for you. And I hand him the bottle. I go, trust me, I think you're going to need it after you hear some of these questions.
So we're going to cut to him sitting there. The bottle of wine is gone. It's
gone.
empty. It's just empty. And he's like, so they use this device to do it? What? No, that is wrong. You cannot do it that way. How can you do it that way?
I go like this, and I like press the button. I go, you just go like this and go away.
But what? He did not know where he was going. How can you do that?
Pretty much most of this group, we don't know where we're going most of the time. But we usually end up places.
Do you have a sing of his?
Do I have a sing of what?
A sing, a sing, thing, a ring, or a mare. I do not know.
A little early in the season.
I dropped my hat when I hit the ground.
Spend a hero point.
Spend another hero. I'm running low.
No. You keep
No,
yours.
I spent it to have dropped my hat when I
Who
hit
has
the
the
ground.
hat? The doctor.
Whoever,
Doctor has
yeah,
the
the
hat.
doctor. I
Yeah.
think was.
Give me the hat. All right. Here are the rules. He tucks the hat in his pants, and he goes and he's getting his boots on. He's getting a vest on his chemise. He's strapping a rapier to his belt. You know, he's getting a pistol and putting it in his belt. And while he's doing all this, he's saying these things. He goes, here are the rules. Number 1, do not open your eyes. No matter what you hear, no matter what is said to you, you do not open your eyes for any reason whatsoever at all. None. If you do, it is too bad for you. Are we all clear on the rule number 1?
Yes.
There.
All right.
Yes.
Rule number 2. If you hear me tell you to do something, do not do it. Do not pay any attention to anyone who tells you anything at all. Are we crystal clear on rule number 2? We?
Rule number.
Hold on a second.
That starts
Ronaldo.
after you tell us the rules, right?
Ronaldo.
Of course it is before I tell you the rules.
Okay. Okay.
You got to pay very attention to that rule.
Okay.
Rule number 3.
Yeah.
You, and he points at the big guy, are going to be at the end. But
Okay.
you are going to hold on to me, and you are going to hold on to him, and he is going to hold on to you, and you are going to hold on to him, and you are at the end. And he's essentially saying we're going to make this big line. We're all holding on to each other.
Oh.
Okay. Will there be
Do
music?
not let go.
Sava.
Sava. So he takes out a knife, and he cuts his hand. He doesn't wince at all. And when you see that his palm is covered in scars that look like, and you're the doctor, it looks like none of them have healed well.
He's gotten color a lot.
He's gotten color a lot. So he cuts his hand and he squeezes it and blood oozes through his fingertips. And then he walks to an open part of his little apartment and he smears the blood in the air. And as he does, you hear that sound again, that terrible, awful, awful sound of 1,000 damned souls screaming as he makes this huge portal like you saw before. And then after he completes the circle, he reaches and grabs the reality that's left and tears it. And like rotten flesh, it just peels away. And then there's just the hole. And the blue, silver, weird mist. And if you look close enough, you can see faces in it. And he turns to you and he says, do not listen to them. Do not open your eyes. Do not let go. Oui?
We.
So he takes the hat out and he focuses on the hat. And then he says in Montaigne, in case anyone speaks it, he goes, this had better work. And you all walk into the portal. You hear voices of people that you trust. You hear your mother's voice. You hear your father's voice. You hear the lover that you lost and wish you never lost. You hear your brother's voice who drowned when he was 6. You hear every single voice that you've ever trusted telling you things that you want the most to hear. And all you have to do is open your eyes. So as you're going through the portal, and as you're going through and walking, you feel your grip on each other is shaking. but you still got it. You're still holding on to it. And you feel these weak, soft, ghost-like hands trying to pull your grip away. And as you keep going, you hear this thunderous sound like waves crashing on rocks, and you remember the prison, of the waves crashing on the rocks, and then there's a snap, like a literal someone snapping in your ears, and there's no more sound. There's no more sound. There's no more of that thunder. You don't feel the strange ectoplasmic, like you're trying to walk through a big block of ooze, a big block of jelly, and it's all gone. And then you hear your Montaigne friend, whose name, by the way, let's give him a name. What's his name? Somebody give him his name.
Pierre.
Yeah. In Ison, we called him Scary Pete, but that was not his name. It sounded like that, but we just started calling him Scary Pete.
That's really good. And Scary Pete says, "You may open your eyes now."
Is this a trick? You told us to not listen to you.
No, we are through the portal. There is no more. How do you say? There is no more. There is no more horrors. You may open your eyes.
One eye.
You are standing in a black room. It's a circular room, and there is in the center of the room, there is a circle with an eye and a star in the eye. And he says, "Is this where you wanted to go?"
Yes.
So he takes some gauze from his belt and he starts wrapping his hand. He ties it up. Yeah, what?
Do I recognize that symbol?
Hey, anybody who's got scholarship, who's got scholar.
Can I do a Wits plus scholar?
Scholar.
Yep. Wits plus.
Sure, why not?
Is this a risk?
Yeah.
An extra die for being wounded. Yay!
Yay!
Okay, so 2.
All right.
Good for me.
So the symbol is from two raises for everybody.
No,
Right.
4.
You got
Oh.
4? Okay,
4.
let's go with
Yes, sir.
4. So the symbol is from the Old Empire, which is the Roman Empire, right?
Okay.
There was a cabal of sorcerers who made a deal with demons to create the sorceries of Porte and Sorte and some other things, and they were the ones who formed this cabal. And it was a secret society that existed in the Old Empire, and they supposedly, much like the Illuminati, ruled the empire for its last 500 years until it fell. And then they were dispersed, and this secret society supposedly went away. Now, there's always rumors that the secret society continued to exist, but nobody believes that because there's no evidence for it.
Right.
And it was called Novus Ordo Mundi. That's
Same translation.
I'm sorry?
Same translation.
Yeah.
So New World Order.
Mm-hmm.
Some people playing at a very dangerous game here. This is ancient magic.
Luis
Or
Ernst.
Scary Pete says, or it is people pretending to be ancient magic. Let this be real.
Yeah.
Considering what we just walked through, I suppose.
Says the guy who just ripped reality a new one.
I do it every day. But I have never seen one group of people who control everything. I suddenly turn Romanian whenever I try to do it.
Call us Romanian.
Blue. I have never seen one group of people try to control everything. So there's a door, it's open, and there's a corridor outside.
We go through, we got to find Ernst.
Gentlemen?
Yeah, we have fun Ernst.
You head through, and as you look out the window, you see the portal energy. And Scary Pete, like, stops dead in his tracks. And is, like... And he says in Montaigne, because he's reflexively speaking, goes, where are we? We are not No, this is not right. No one should do... No, this is not right.
These are just the New World fakers. You said that yourself.
So, Ernst, you hear people talking in the corridor that you just came out of.
Do I recognize them as my compatriots?
Yes, and then you hear a Montaigne voice going, swearing in Montaigne.
Okay, I walk back out to them slowly and deliberately. Thanks. Pardon me, does one of you have my hat?
I don't think you're going to want it back.
I just run up and embrace Ernst.
The Montaigne fellow of whom you have not met has your hat, and he says, I believe this belongs to you.
It's strangely warm.
So, at that moment, you hear this very deep voice, kind of like Philip's voice. It's very, really deep baritone. From a shadowy figure standing in the far corner of the room by an open door. And the shadowy figure says, in a accent that none of you recognize. But do any of you have linguist?
Yes.
Oh, excellent. He is speaking in a dialect that is from the old empire. In other words, it's really old Vidace. It's prima Vidace, right? And he says, you are not supposed to be here.
Probably not.
This is not a new experience for me.
But at least
where
we're
are we?
pants.
At least you're wearing pants. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
And I'm sorry. What did you say, Ronaldo?
And where are we?
So he steps forward, and as you see, he's tall. He's not as big as Ernst, right? But he's tall. He looks very well. He's handsome. Just movie star, impossible to happen. If there was I went to a convention once where I ran into Jewel State. She was a guest, and she plays Kylie on Firefly, right? When people talk about people who have stunning beauty, what that means is that you lose all of your wit, right? You see them and your wit just falls out of your mouth. Same thing happened to me when I met Harlan Ellison. My wit just fell out of my mouth because I didn't want to piss him off and say the wrong thing. For Jewel State, she was just so, the presence she had. It was not just that she's a very physically attractive person. She has this presence that's projected out from her, that's of confidence and all these things. And this guy's got that, right? So when you see him, it's kind of like being starstruck, and you're like, whoa, you're taken back a step. And he's wearing very simple but elegant, expensive clothing. And he steps out into the weird blue dark light that's from the windows of this place. And he says, well, congratulations on getting this far then.
Thank you.
He points at you, Noah, and he says, you're the Eisen Giant. That much is obvious. You're the doctor. That makes you two the Castilians. And Ernst, you're the veteran. And we're told... is that right?
I'm the ex-priest. Or
You're the ex-priest, that's right. You're the ex-priest. And you're the one from the Commonwealth. And then he points at Scary Pete and he goes, I don't know you. And Scary Pete says, that is a good thing. I would be happy to leave, and we can never know each other at all.
He was just our ride. He's got nothing to do with this.
How did you find this place? Was it the assassin?
No, your assassin behaved with honor. We merely relieved him of one of his possessions.
We're told. What did you say?
I said, for an assassin, I suppose, honorable. Yeah.
Oh, you used the translocator.
Yes, I suppose you.
May I have it back?
No, you may not.
It doesn't belong to you.
The lives of our friends and family don't belong to you, so it seems we're even.
Yeah.
Really good. And he says, suppose that's fair. However, I can't have you walking around with a translocator. So he walks a little bit away and he opens a chest and he comes out with 1, 2, 3, and he drops them on the table. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 bags of what are obviously coins. That is for you, but I must have the translocator back.
You've been in here a long time, I can tell. We're going to need to come to an accord. This is not a simple monetary transaction.
Isn't everything a simple monetary transaction?
You know everything about our families and everything, and you think that we're in it for the money? You know everything about us, and you think we're gonna take the money? You don't know us at all.
I was hoping this might be simpler, but if you're going to make it complicated, are we going to make it complicated?
Are you going to just forget that our families existed?
You were successful. And you say, walk out of here. And he says, so far you know nothing.
Oh, I'm kind of
I'm happy. I am happy leaving things the way they are. You can go back to Thea and tell stories about how you found a secret location in the middle of the ether. And no one will.
What's ether?
And he gestures at the window and he goes, the ether.
I think you're telling me far more than you really need to. I just want you to leave the kids alone.
Like I said, and he pushes the bags towards you and he says, it's this simple. You give me the device, I give you the money, and we all go our separate ways and never see each other again. Or We can do it the other way. The device, please.
Let me ask you this, good sir. If we return the device to you and walk away, what will you be doing with the rest of your time?
I have more important things to do than deal with you.
Important things like draining the souls from innocent victims, sending assassins to injure and kill the loved ones of anyone who crosses your path?
That was
like
number.
that?
He says that was number 8's folly. She's been dealt with. Let me put it plainly. She is no longer number 8. Now, so far, you have all been courteous, and I have attempted to return your courtesy. We have been civil, calm, and reasonable. And you have asked very insightful questions to me. I respect that, and he points at he points at Noah, and he says, "I respect that you value the lives of your children. And if you accept this deal, they shall never be in danger from us again."
I'm kind of inclined to take that. It's not my job to help everybody.
The device.
What do my
How many?
okay, go ahead.
You go ahead. You got something.
No, I was just going to ask what the what my other fellows think of this.
If you guys want a moment to talk out of character, go ahead. But you only get a minute. Starting 1 second. No, Neopets. Don't open Neopets. Actually, it's Pokemon. I said I used to work at Neopets, so I associate the two.
Mhm.
Hold on. Here we go. Timer. 1 minute. Go.
Yeah, so I'm
Seems to
inclined
be our
not
best
to
deal.
Yeah.
So you're saying no then? Ernst?
Yeah, I would vote no, but I don't want to throw us all into suicide if everybody else thinks it makes sense.
Well, if
Vote
he's only
yes, but I'd back any one of you to the grave. So
we're not going to take out the whole thing just by him if we win.
Yeah, I mean, he said number 8. We're not sure how many of these are. There's at least 8 of these guys that are as powerful as him.
Yeah. It's like
So-
cutting a head off the Hydra, you're not getting
Right.
them all. And if they all show up, we're not going to win. This is probably our best chance.
But here's the thing. What he's offering us is our skins and the skins of those we care about. What about everybody else who gets in their way?
That's 1 minute.
We will.
We're settled then. Good.
I'll tell you what. I'll give you another minute. Go.
can't help every single person. We can help the ones we can help. And then if we start poking around a little bit and we find stuff later, we can always come back.
Mhm.
Didn't get here because we used the little thing.
So quick, just a quick straw poll as to who says to take the money and run, and who says so who wants to take the deal?
Raise your hand if you want to take the deal.
If we get it in writing.
That being said,
10
if you throw down, I'll do whatever you do.
Oh wait, we forgot Sneaky Pete. Did he want to take the deal?
Take the deal, he says. Take the deal.
He's already got the bag of money in his hand. He's all set.
So who has the device?
I've got the device.
Okay. I will give you a hero point if you don't have the device. If you reach for it and suddenly don't have it.
Mm.
I'm not going to say who has it. I'm just going to say I'll give you a hero point if you don't have it on you. If you reach for it and you don't have it.
Okay. Does that that make for maximum fun? I'll do that.
Okay. So he says, the device, please. And we can call this an evening.
Okay. I reach for it, intending to have him send my fellows, send everyone who wants to go back before I crush it in my hands. But then I realize that I don't, in fact, have it.
And Sneaky Pete gives it to him. Spooky Pete, Scary Pete. He says, "Oh, here it is."
Hmm.
And he looks at you. He looks at Ernst with this look of, say nothing.
I don't nod meaningfully like that.
Yeah. Big wink.
So he says, very well, take your gold and leave the way you came.
Very well then.
I look to Scary Pete.
You know the 3 rules. 3 rules. I'm now speaking with a Spanish accent. Well,
Ethan does a lot to change a man.
I'm pretty sure going through those portals drives you crazy. It makes sense you change accents.
Yeah, thank you. So, he does the same thing. He cuts his hand. He makes a big hole. He tears it out. He has everybody hold on to each other. Do you all leave?
I hand my bag grab one of the bags, hand it to Noah, and ask him, "Do the kids need this?"
Yeah. Why?
It's yours.
Thank you.
It's theirs.
Yeah.
Are you staying? Or you're giving him the gold, right?
Give him the gold.
Got it. I'm sorry. I missed
All
that.
right. I was just making sure.
Does anybody stay? Does anybody not go with Scary Pete?
I
Okay.
think I don't go.
You sure?
Yeah, I think that's what I do. I think that I see these people as monsters, and I'm a monster hunter, and that's what I do.
All right. So, Scary Pete, he says, what are you doing?
And I say, take care of them. Just, get them home safe. Get them home safe. Strange person whose name I don't know yet.
Scary Pete.
Scary Pete.
And Scary Pete is not going to waste any time. And so he goes to the portal, and the portal closes behind him. So we'll deal with you in a moment, Mr. I'm not leaving. Get to the other side. And Scary Pete is like, "Merde! Why did he stay behind?"
He's done that before.
So he reaches into his pocket, and in his hand is that little glass thing that was inside of it with the lightning. And that's where we're going to end the game. On a cliffhanger!
Oh, no.
Because that's how all 7C games end, is on a cliffhanger. Except there's a post-credit scene.
Mm.
And the post-credit scene is Ernst in the building, and the tall, handsome gentleman, he says, "Why did you stay?"
Because, sir, I don't believe that I can live in a world where people have to live in fear of forces they don't understand and that can control them or kill them or hurt the ones they love at any moment just because they feel like they should be able to. So I hope So I believe that we will settle this one way or the other now.
He says, I agree with you. You're from Eisen, and there are monsters in the world. I can help you kill them. Specifically, and he goes to the wall, and there's a bookshelf. And he takes down a book, and he's going through the pages, and he says, there has been a horror in your land that has haunted it long enough, I think. I know the way to kill it. Shall I tell you?
The normally inexpressive face kind of lights up and says, "What's the price?"
No price. I will give you the means, I'll give you the tools, and I'll give you the knowledge to destroy this thing.
I'll accept it with gratitude.
Good. And he throws the book down, and the picture in the book is that. Can you all see that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, that's the end of the game,
Nice.
with the post-credit scene and everything.
Ooh.
Did you guys have fun?
you.
Very much
Very
so.
much
Yeah.
so.
Good. I'm glad. I'm glad you guys had fun.